Come ride the little train that is rolling down the tracks to the junction. Forget about your cares, it is time to relax at the junction. Lots of curves, you bet, and even more when you get to the junction.
Petticoat Junction.
There's a little hotel called the Shady Rest at the junction.
Petticoat Junction.
It is run by Kate. Come and be her guest at the junction.
Petticoat Junction.
And that's Uncle Joe. He's a moving kind of slow at the junction. Petticoat Junction.
There you are, Joe. Just like Kate would have picked if she'd been here to buy it herself.
Sam, I just told you while Kate's in Groverdale visiting her sick Aunt Winifred, I'm doing the buying and the deciding. I'll take that one.
Well, Joe, those are identical to the one I just gave you.
That one.
Okay, Joe.
That's better. This one's in good shape.
Hey, you old fox, you really got the best one out of me that time, didn't you?
Well, how much you want for this little beauty, Sam, old boy?
$1.25.
$1.25 for a washboard? Why, for that money, it ought to have a motor on it.
About ready to go, Joe?
I'll be along in a minute, Floyd, soon as we straighten out a little price problem.
Well, hurry it up. The cannonball's ready to pull out.
Make you an offer, 50 cents.
Why didn't you ask me the price sooner, Joe? You know you get much more fun out of the haggling than you do out of the buying.
Now, you know that ain't true, Sam. Well?
Well, what?
Ain't you gonna make me a counter offer?
Okay, Joe. How's about $1.20?
6 bits, not a nickel more.
Nothing doing.
Try a buck even.
Okay, $1 even it is.
Nothing doing. My top price is 90 cents.
There you are, Joe. Congratulations.
What's this?
That's Drucker's special secret prize of the day. You just won it. You're now officially Hooterville's #1 haggler.
Oh, now that's a lot of nonsense, Sam. Let's get back to business. I just made you an offer of 90 cents. What do you say?
I say, if you work at it a little bit, you could be the #1 haggler in the whole county.
90 cents.
Sold. Let's have the money.
Charge it.
Charge
But
it?
mark it under protest. What do you got here, Sam?
Men's hats. They're on special.
We can get together on price. I might buy one.
Come on, Joe. What's holding you up?
I'll be along soon to finish my business, Floyd.
You better finish it pretty soon. It's one thing for us to be an hour and a half late, but you're pushing it pretty close to 2 hours.
Oh, what's the difference?
Nothing. But today we got other people waiting.
I'll be along in a few minutes.
We can't wait that long. Them folks is getting riled. Come on now, or we'll have to pull out without you.
Pull out without me. That's ridiculous.
Joe, you got exactly 30 seconds left to catch that train. And that's official.
Maybe you better go, Joe. He sounded like he meant it.
Oh, Floyd talks more than he says. Pull out without me. That's ridiculous. Oh, look.
Terrible.
Come on, Floyd, let's go.
What do you say, Sam? How much you want for this one?
All right, Joe, since you got plenty of time before you start that nice long walk back to Shady Rest, I'm opening the haggling at $1.
And you just went off and left Uncle Joe in Hooterville?
Had to, Billy Joe. There was people waiting.
I went into Drucker 6 times and tried to drag him out.
You know him. When he gets to gabbing, there's no way to cork him up.
Well, I can understand how you both felt, but I can't help worrying about poor Uncle Joe, walking all that way.
Yeah, he's apt to be a little peeved.
Well, hi, Uncle Joe. I see you got the washboard.
Charlie and Floyd were telling us about how you didn't quite catch the cannonball.
Charlie and Floyd who?
Now, Uncle Joe, that's no way to talk about old friends.
Well, if you're referring to those two impatient operators of that rusty pile of junk laughingly called the Hooterville Cannonball, I ain't interested.
Joe, you know the whole thing was your own fault.
I'll give you fair warning.
Girls, it seems to me I hear voices in this room. Would you mind telling them that from now on, anytime they're broadcasting, I won't be tuning in?
And while you're about it, girls, would you tell old Uncle Sorehead that before we'd talk to him, we'd sooner talk to a hollow log?
Girls, would you mind telling them that the thing you usually find at the end of a hollow log is a skunk? Them two polecats must be gone. The air smells a lot better in here.
Joe, are you going to keep up this silly fight forever?
Silly fight my eye. It's a matter of principle.
What principle?
I don't know, but there's one here somewhere.
But Joe, you sure look pretty. Where are you going? Orville's picking me up to take me to a movie matinee.
Picking you up? In what?
In his flivver.
Well, how's he going to do that? The nearest road's 2 miles over the hill.
He latched onto some old pan car wheels, and he replaced his regular car wheels with them.
You're joshing.
There he is.
I don't believe it.
Well, there's only one way to find out. Come on out and take a look.
This I gotta see.
Okay, Betty Joe, we're all set.
Orville, how did you do it?
Brains, patience, and perseverance. And the help of my older brother. He's a mechanical engineer.
Well, what do you say now, Uncle Joe?
Well, I haven't seen it work yet. Come on, Orville, you could tell us. You pushed it in here, didn't you?
Oh, gosh, no, Mr. Carson. Well, hop in, Betty Joe, and we'll show him.
Well, Uncle Joe?
Like I always said, that boy's got a lot of talent.
When did you ever say that?
Starting right now. He's got more talent than he realizes. In fact, he's just become a partner in a new railroad.
I'm a little afraid to ask, but what are you talking about?
What I'm talking about is that the Hooterville Cannonball is about to have a little competition from the Hooterville Flivver Ball. Welcome back, kids. How was the show?
Fine, but riding in this was the real fun. Well, thanks for taking me to the show, Orville, and especially for the keen ride.
Ah, sure thing, Betty Joe.
Come on, Uncle Joe.
You go on up the house, honey. I want to talk to my good buddy Orville for a minute.
Let me get this straight, Mr. Carson. You want to go into partnership with me?
Of course I do. You got talent, intelligence, and brain power, my boy.
I have?
In a car with flanged wheels.
You really think we can compete with the Cannonball?
Why not? They may be bigger, but we got more speed. Well, we can make a dozen runs to Hooterville while they're still trying to get up steam in Pixley.
And all I have to do is lend you the car, huh?
And furnish the gas and oil, and we'll split the profits after that right down through the middle.
Mr. Carson, I don't know what to say.
Now, let's look at it this way. What other boy ever had half interest in a railroad at 16?
I guess you're right.
Of course I'm right, partner. Girls, your mother's a great little woman, but she just ain't got my business instincts. And when she gets back and sees what I'm doing, she'll be proud.
What she'll be is furious.
Oh, no, she won't. She's never really seen me in action yet. Why, before long, Orville and me will have diesel locomotives, tank cars, Vistadome. Hooterville will be the hub of the railroad industry. Might even buy out the New York Central.
Uncle Joe, you know you don't believe a word you're saying.
What do you mean?
I mean that you're doing this for one purpose only. To get even with poor Charlie and Floyd.
Yeah, poor is right. When I get through with them, they ain't going to have enough steam left to blow their whistle.
Uncle Joe, now listen a minute, please. Well, the cannonball is Charlie and Floyd's whole livelihood.
Well, if it's their livelihood, they ought to know better than to go around leaving important passengers stranded.
Now, Uncle Joe, you know whose fault that was.
You're dang right. I got it figured. 40% Floyd for making the signal, 60% Charlie for leaving.
Well, Charlie, Floyd, we were just talking about you, weren't we, Uncle Joe?
You were. I was talking about the railroading business.
Hey, what's that fool Flivver doing sitting down below on our tracks?
Your tracks? They made no more your tracks than they are anybody else's.
But it's our railroad.
It has been up until now. You and Charlie had a pretty slick little monopoly going.
Joe, what in tarnation are you talking about?
I ain't talking, I'm telling. At 8:04 tomorrow morning, the little Hooterville Flivver ball sitting down there is going to run your cannonball out of business.
You're going to run us out of business with that little thing? That's the biggest joke I ever heard.
Yeah? In a couple of days, you'll be laughing out of the other side of your boiler.
Why, that ornery old coot. Reckon he's really serious.
Who'd think he'd go that far? Just 'cause we made him walk home with that washboard.
Oh, there's nothing to worry about. By tomorrow morning, when Uncle Joe finds out that there's work connected with this, he'll forget the whole thing. I hope.
Step right up, folks. Ride the Hooterville Flivver Ball. A new adventure in railroad travel. Remember our slogan, fresh air, low fare.
Did you ever see anything as ridiculous in your life?
Yeah, who'd ride in that pneumonia buggy?
Are you tired of riding in that cooped-up coach with its stale, used-up air? Then ride in the wide-open fresh air Flivver Ball, specially equipped for sightseeing. How do you do, sir? I can see that you're an experienced discriminating traveler. Just step aboard. We'll be pulling out as soon as we're sure we're not leaving anybody behind.
He sure grabs hold of a grudge real strong, don't he?
He's got an elephant's memory and a mule's nature.
Just step aboard, madam. On the Flivver Ball, both you and your chicken are welcome. Take the scenic route, folks. Unlimited view of all historical points of interest. Just step in, folks. There's room for everybody.
I'll be switched. He seems to be getting a few.
He seems to be getting more than we're getting.
Some people will take to anything just 'cause it's new and fashionable.
Well, folks, it's departure time, and we're departing.
I'll say one thing for his train, it's got pickup.
Yeah, but we get his overflow.
Money to ride that thing?
Joe was cranking that money changer like somebody'd wound him up at the elbow.
Well, where's Uncle Joe now? He hasn't missed dinner in over 15 years. It's getting pretty late. What time is it?
It's 8 o'clock. Maybe he's picking up the late revelers at Pixley.
$7.37. And that's just for the first day. After I convert to diesel and get longer benches, I'll have all of Hooterville at my feet.
Uncle Joe, you don't really mean that you're going to continue running that Flivver Ball like this day after day.
Why not?
I'll tell you why not. You keep this up and Floyd and me will be out in the cold.
And when you're out in the cold, it's pretty cold.
You big cartels are all alike. You talk about the glories of competition, but the minute somebody opens up beside you, you start to cry.
Gentlemen, please. Now, don't you think it's time you apologize to each other and made up?
We'll apologize if he'll apologize first for trying to run us out of business.
I ain't apologizing until you two admit it was a low-down trick to leave me stranded at Drucker's store. Now, if you young ladies will excuse me, I'll get to bed and get ready for another busy day.
Uncle Joe, aren't you going to have any dinner?
Well, I'll have a sandwich and a glass of milk in my room while I go over my accounts.
We better get home and get to bed, too. We got to get out early to try to keep up. Bye, girls.
Bye, Charlie. Good night,
Girls, thanks for the dinner.
Good morning, Uncle Joe. Hi, Uncle Joe.
Morning, Uncle
Morning,
Joe.
girls. You got some breakfast for a hungry railroad man?
Mom's in the kitchen getting it ready.
Your mom's home?
Yeah, she got in last night, and Aunt Winifred's just fine.
I can close my eyes and tell you what we're having. Country sausage, buckwheat cakes, and blueberry syrup. That's my favorite breakfast.
We told her what's been going on, Uncle Joe. I think she's got a surprise for you.
Good morning, Uncle Joe. Good morning.
Welcome home, my dear.
Thank you. It's good to be home. Tell me something. Are you still in the railroad business?
I'll say I'm still in the railroad business. A couple more days and I'll have that cannonball in mothballs.
Guess that makes you feel real proud.
Well, let's face it, some of us have it, some of us don't.
Putting Floyd and Charlie out of business would be a real triumph, wouldn't it?
When they sell that cannonball for junk, will be the happiest day of my life.
Well, I guess when big businessmen get to competing, there's just no room for sentiment.
Kate, you're finally getting realistic. You know, in the jungle of big business, somebody has to suffer. Kate, forgetting something?
Oh, I don't think so, Uncle Joe. What?
My plate. There ain't nothing on it but the painted flowers.
Yeah, that's right.
Aren't we planning on covering them up with hotcakes and sausage?
No, we're not. As long as this silly feud keeps up between you, Charlie, and Floyd, none of you are going to have a bite to eat at this table.
You're Josh.
I am? Would you please... Pardon me. Would you please pass the blueberry syrup, Billy Joe?
Fish me, Billy Joe. I think I'm having a bad dream.
Oh, no, it's no dream, Uncle Joe. But now that you're a successful railroad man, you can eat in town at the Pixley Diner.
Kate, you know I'm a forgiving man. I'm going to give you one more chance to change your mind. Do I get some hotcakes and sausage or don't I?
You don't. Pass it, buddy.
That does it. Girls, you've got the doggonest, stubbornest mother that ever was.
Where are you going, Uncle Joe?
Where do you think I'm going? I'm going to run that flavor ball until I die at the throttle of malnutrition.
Do we smell sausage and buckwheat cakes?
Yeah, and that's all you're going to get's a smell. That woman's turning real difficult.
What's the matter with old Grumpy?
Uncle Joe's always grumpy when he hasn't eaten breakfast.
And he sure hasn't had any this morning.
How come? Has he got this Pepsi?
No. Uncle Joe just has a bad case of the stubborns.
And Mom told him he wasn't going to get a bite of food until he stopped this nonsense with the flivver ball.
It's a good thing you're back, Kate.
Yeah, smart thinking, Kate. That'll bring him back to his senses.
If he's got any.
That's the only way to treat a stubborn old fool like him.
That's what I thought. I knew you boys would be ready to apologize and make up.
Us apologize?
To that old railroad pirate?
Never in a million years.
Well, that just ended breakfast.
And you're not going to feed us either?
Not as long as you three keep feuding.
Well, Floyd, reckon we might as well get going.
I guess we might as well.
So long, Kate.
So
So long, boys.
Mom, don't you think you were a little hard on Charlie and Floyd?
And Uncle Joe, too.
Well, you practically took the sausages right out of their mouths.
You girls remember when you were little kids and you used to have those stubborn spats with each other?
Well, sure, Mom.
Well, what you don't remember is how I got you over them.
How did you?
I used to get you so mad at me that you forgot about being mad at each other.
Oh, I see. What you're doing is starving Uncle Joe, Charlie, and Floyd into getting mad at you.
And going back to being good friends again. Now, let's clear the table.
Mom, there's something I don't understand.
What's that, Betty?
Well, when we were kids, and you got us over being mad at each other by getting us mad at you, well, how did you get us to stop being mad at you?
Honey, that was always the real tricky part.
What a breakfast for a big railroad executive.
Joe, those bananas are a little green, and if you keep on eating them, you're going to get a little green, too.
Well, a man's got to eat something to hold body and soul together.
Well, I don't know about your soul, but you could afford to lose about 40 pounds of body.
If Kate don't come to her senses, I'll be known as a Hooterville skeleton.
Somebody ought to come to their senses, but it ain't Kate. Why don't you give that fool Flivver back to Orville and let Charlie and Floyd run the railroad?
Them two nincompoops couldn't run an electric train on a living room rug. I better get going. I've got to beat him through the switch to Pixley.
Well, now, just a minute, Joe. Them bananas cost a nickel apiece.
Sam, how can you talk about the price of bananas in the middle of a railroad war?
I'd have bought more bananas if I'd known I was going to have so many monkeys in here today.
Sam, we ain't enjoying living on bananas, but it's better than a Pixley diner. Them blue plate specials of theirs is turning Charlie and me blue.
All you have to do is apologize to Joe and you'll have your feet back under Kate's table.
We wouldn't apologize to him if he was head of the New York Central.
Come on, Floyd. Let's see if we can knock him off the track on the way to Pixley.
I knew this old Army mess kit would come in handy someday.
Well, if the Army had to travel on its stomach and waited for you to do the cooking, we'd lost the war for sure.
Wait till you taste this. You're going to be surprised.
I'll be surprised if I ever get to taste it.
Charlie, I'm the conductor, and I don't mind helping fire the engine, but I never signed on as a cook.
Do I smell something cooking?
Well, if it ain't the big railroader, Floyd, give Mr. Vanderbilt a C.
Don't be so smart, Alecky. Floyd, what you cooking?
He's cooking some food for us.
Oh, Charlie, let's give him a little. He's starving just like we are.
I don't know as I'd accept charity, even if it was offered.
Okay, we won't offer you any.
On second thought, I'll accept.
Here you are. Beef stew, a la World War I.
Stew like this could lead to World War III.
I never thought anything could taste worse than green bananas, but Floyd, you've done it.
Oh, it is offhanded. Somewhere between World War I and now, I must have lost my touch.
I suppose you know who got us into all this trouble. Kate.
That's right. If it wasn't for her, we wouldn't be suffering like this.
That stew on top of them green bananas is sure starting to make me suffer.
That's the trouble with women. They ain't got no sense of humor.
You're right, Joe. A few old friends start having a little good-natured fun, and right away some woman comes along and starts taking it serious.
Of course. But how could she figure I was planning on staying into the railroad business? Me up to my ears in work running that hotel. Like I was telling Kate a little while ago, it's just too much work for one man, no matter how talented he is.
You're right, Joe. Your place is back on the front porch of the Shady Rest, making decisions.
And our place is running this cannonball.
And all of our place is right back where we can get our feet under Kate's table.
You know what's going on over there right now?
What?
Kate's laying out a spread of chicken and dumplings that'd make a statue come running to the table.
Well, what are we doing here?
You know what the old World War I infantry manual said?
Sure. When they got you completely surrounded, surrender and join the enemy. Let's go. Hi, Kate.
Just happened to be in the neighborhood and thought we'd drop in.
Just thought we'd come in and say hi.
Am I to assume that the railroad trouble is over?
What railroad trouble?
Kate, hadn't you heard? Uncle Joe's back in the hotel business.
Well, I'm sure glad to hear that. We can't get along without you, Uncle Joe.
Hear that, boys? Women are helpless without us.
Why don't the three of you join us for supper?
Oh, I don't know. We've just had quite a meal.
Quite a meal is right.
Oh, well, sit yourselves. I have to call another guest, so please excuse me. Mr. Anderson! Supper's ready.
Who's that? That's J.P. Anderson, a salesman, otherwise known as Wipeout Anderson, the bottomless pit of the eating world.
We better get to the table before him or there won't be a bone left.
Full as we are, I think we'll try a little of your chicken and dumplings, Kate.
Well, Whether you can choke down a bite or not, it's sure good to see the three of you sitting at this table again. Mr. Anderson.
Petticoat Junction. This has been a Filmways presentation.
Come and listen to my story about a man named Jed. A poor mountaineer barely kept his family fed. And then one day he was shooting at some food, and up through the ground come a bubbling crude oil, that is, black gold, Texas tea. Well, the first thing you know, old Jed's a millionaire. The kinfolk said, Jed, move away from there. Said, California is the place you ought to be. So they loaded up the truck and they moved to Beverly Hills, that is, swimming pools, movie stars. The Beverly Hillbillies. Come along and visit with the Clampet family as they take you to their mansion in the hills of Beverly. And when they do, you'll run into a friend of theirs you've met, that good old friend with filter blend, Winston cigarette. Winston tastes good like a cigarette should.
Trust him not, dear gentle lady, though his voice be low and sweet. Listen to the gypsy's warning, gentle lady, trust him not. Gentle lady, trust him not. A gentle lady, trust him not.
Excuse me, Granny, I'm going to the store. Is there anything you need?
I'll check my supplies whilst you string these beans.
That's women's work.
What'd you say?
I said stringing beans is women's work.
It's anybody's work. I tells them to do it.
Well, I ain't gonna do it.
Jethro, that's the first time you've ever talked back to Granny, and it's the last. Now you go out and cut me a hickory switch and meet me in the woodshed.
We ain't got no hickory tree. No woodshed neither.
That's the truth, ain't it?
Yeah. Hey, now what'd you want to go and do that for?
Do you want to string beans or do you want to stand up for your meals for the next few days?
I want to string beans.
I'll do it. Let's see what I got here. 1 deviled hawk eggs, 2 pickled pawpaws, 3 harmony grits, and 1 salted down hog jowls, 1 sack of salt, 1 sack of sugar, and 1 sack of dried beans, 1 skunk, 1 skunk. Jethro, there's a live skunk in that cabinet. You go get him out.
I'm sorry, Granny. I'm gonna have to talk back to you again.
Here, Charlie. Ellie Mae, is Charlie a critter about this size with a white streak down his back?
Yeah, Granny, you seen him?
He's in that cabinet over there. Now you go over there and get him out.
Come on, Charlie. He likes to crawl in dark places and snooze.
Ellie Mae, I never said nothing when you drug home 14 dogs, 3 cats, a rooster, and a duck. and a baby lion and a brace of goats. But my dingies, I ain't gonna hold still for skunks.
Granny, you scaring him.
What do you suppose he done to me? I've looked at many a sack of beans, but it's the first one that ever looked back at me.
Sorry, Granny, but I got him to help old Duke.
How's he gonna do that?
Well, Pa says old Duke was a-losing his smeller. He can't trail nothing no more. So I figured if he could sniff any trail, it'd be Charlie's.
Yeah, your pa's been quite worried here lately about old Duke's nose going bad on him.
Smell that, Duke. Nice, big, fat rabbit. Come on, trail it. Trail it. Come on. Well, I think I know what you're gonna like. Big, sassy fox. Get him, boy. Come on. Come on, get him. Get him. Come on, boy. Get him. Come on, he's hiding in a hollow log here. Sniff him out, boy. Sniff him out. Come on, sniff him out. This'll get action. A raccoon is your favorite. Come on, get him, boy. Now, come on. Get him, boy. Train him. Train him. Get him, boy. Get that old raccoon. Come on. Come on. He's kicking dirt in your face. You ain't gonna stand for that, are you? Sure is a pitiful thing, Duke. Have a nose that big and not have it working.
Pa? Pa, is old Duke any better?
Really, honey? There's a dog used to be able to trail a butterfly through a swamp after a rain. Now he couldn't smell cabbage cooking.
I got something here I'll bet you can smell. He won't do nothing, Pa. He likes me.
Yeah, well, how's he feel about me?
Charlie, this here's my Pa. Now, you be nice to him. And this here is old Duke. You let him get a good whip, and then he's gonna trail you.
Now, Charlie, it's all in fun. No hard feelings.
Maybe he caught you cold, Pa, and got his nose stopped up.
Either that or he just don't give a hoot.
He looks worried.
Well, me all hounds look worried. I have noticed him looking over at the Drysdale place every now and then, kind of whimpering.
Bet you he misses Cotton Patch.
Who?
The white poodle Mrs. Drysdale brought over from France to marry up with her poodle.
Oh, yeah.
She's in the hospital. Been there a couple of weeks or so. Reckon that's why Duke's a pining.
Duke, you just have to get her off your mind. She belongs to somebody else.
Oh, Duke, don't cry.
Jed! Uncle Jed, look what was in the mailbox for you. Come all the way from Paris, France.
For me?
Says right on it, Monsieur J.D. Clampets. Hey, I'll bet you that's from that pretty French lady.
The one who brought Cotton Patch over.
Yeah, the one you was courting and sparking.
What are you talking about, courting and sparking?
Well, you shave for her, and in the middle of the day.
You slickered down your hair with smell.
Yeah, and you shined your shoes, and it weren't even Sunday.
You put on your swallowtail coat and your courting derby.
And then you went right on over to...
Ain't you too young and got some chores to do or something?
No, Pa.
Why don't you open that up and see what that pretty French lady sent you?
Probably ain't from her at all. Probably just some catalog.
From Paris, France?
Ellie, why don't you go out and help Granny and take Charlie back where you found him? Jethro, you take Duke for a run through the hills. Do you both good.
Well, where are you going, Uncle Jed?
You just take care of Duke, I'll take care of me.
Come on, Duke. Uncle Jed wants me to take you for a run. Duke, you can't run unless you get to your feet. Come on, Duke. Try to get both ends up at once.
Jethro, run me over to Mr. Drysdale Bank.
Okay, Uncle Jay. I can run you a heap easier than I can run old Duke.
Wait a minute. I mean, run me down in a truck.
Oh, all right, I'll go fetch it.
One of these days, I gotta have a long talk with that boy.
Chief, you told me to warn me if your wife came in.
She's here?
The doorman just called.
Oh, well, tell her I've gone to Las Vegas to get some money.
Chief. Melvin!
Oh, Margaret.
Claude has something to tell you.
Oh, well, write me a letter, Claude. I'm very busy right now.
This is
Black Wednesday?
it's homecoming day for your grandchildren.
My what?
I talked to the doctor at the hospital, and he said Claude's wife and babies can come home today. Isn't it exciting? Aren't you thrilled?
Beyond description.
Claude is the father of quintuplets. Aren't you proud of him, Milburn?
Margaret, it is not unusual for a dog litter to number 12 or even more.
Why must you always belittle Claude? You know how sensitive he is.
Oh, I'm sorry, Claude. Good show. Congratulations. Now, I've got a lot of work to do, Margaret.
You certainly have. We want you to help pick 5 baby names. 3 boys and 2 girls. We want your suggestions.
Well, my first suggestion is for you to go home and do it. I've got a bank to run.
Bank. That's all your dadums talks about. Now, of course, the first boy should be Claude Jr., and the first girl should be Claudette. Claude wanted to name one of the boys after his dadums, but Milburn just doesn't sound French.
Hallelujah.
Let's all sit down, and we can go over my list of names. Claude, you can lie down. Poor darling. He's a nervous wreck. He's chewed his nails right down to the paw.
Well, I'm going to be doing a little nail chewing myself before this is over.
Isn't it exciting?
Oh, Mr. Clampett, how nice to see you. I'll tell Mr. Drysdale you're here.
Oh, no, please. It's you I come to see.
I?
Yes, ma'am. You see, this come for me in the mail. I think it's wrote in French. Would you,
Translate? Oh, I'd be happy to. Sit down. Oh, Mademoiselle Denise.
She said she's going to send me a picture.
Such a beautiful woman. So sweet and so charming.
Funny thing about her, I couldn't understand a word she was saying, but I sure did like the way she was saying them.
Shall I read the letter to you?
Yes, ma'am, but not too loud.
Cher Monsieur Clampet, dear Mr. Clampett, here is the photograph I promised. I shall be coming to Beverly Hills again very soon now, and I hope that I may take one of you back to Paris with me.
Well, I wonder which one of us she's going to take. Be a treat for Granny.
No, Mr. Clampett, she means a photograph of you.
Oh, I don't think I got none.
Leave that to me. It's easily arranged. I'll read on. Mrs. Drysdale has cabled me that Colette is expecting and has invited me to come and take my pick of the litter of puppies. I am looking forward to seeing you then. Sincere best wishes, your friend, Mademoiselle Denise Bouchard.
Doggies. Sure is handy to understand that foreign writing and talking. Reckon you could learn me?
Well, yes, in time.
Today?
I could give you a lesson at noon.
How long would it take?
Oh, an hour.
Hour? That ain't bad.
Well, I'll tell Mr. Drysdale and be right over.
Thank you.
Come in.
Sure is going to be nice talking fern with you.
How do you do? It is good to see you again. Thank you. I am fine. How do you do? It is good to see you again. I am fine.
Who you talking to?
Bonjour, madame. Quel plaisir de vous voir. Merci beaucoup. Je vais bien.
Oh, you're that foreign-speaking lady that Jed got all frizzled up over. Come on in. Yeah, sure nice to see you again.
Ah oui. How do you do? It is...
Just fine, thanks. How are you?
How do you do? It is...
Just fine, thank you. How are you?
How do you do?
I don't know whether you don't hear me or you don't believe me.
Granny, you want me to... Oh, howdy, ma'am. Nice to see you again. How are you?
How do you do?
Oh, just as frisky as a flea on a fat dog. Thank you.
Don't do no good to tell her. She'll only ask you again.
How do you do? It,
See what I mean? She's kind of rattled. Better take her out to the kitchen and give her some coffee.
Ah, coffee. Bon.
Well, I reckon she could scare you up a bone. Wouldn't you rather have a donut?
How do you do?
Get that coffee, quick.
Thank you, Jethro.
Oh, Uncle Jed, can I see what you got from Paris?
Oh, I reckon not, Jethro. Besides, wrote in French.
Can you read French?
Miss Hathaway's coming over here to learn me. Now you pull the truck up out of the way.
Granny?
Jed, you got company.
Who?
That beautiful foreign lady that you were so sweet on. From Paris.
She here already?
In the kitchen having coffee.
Doggone, another hour and I'd have had my French lesson.
Where you going?
Going up to wash my hand.
Howdy, Granny.
Jethro, finish my sweeping. I gotta go someplace.
No, ma'am, Granny.
What?
Sweeping is women's work.
You go cut me a hickory switch and you wait for me.
Granny, I told you before, there ain't no hickory switches, nor woodsheds in Beverly Hills.
No wonder they have to have policemen to watch the young'uns.
I ain't gonna bite on that one again. I'm too smart.
Is that a fact?
Ma'am, Granny, Uncle Jed says it's 'cause I go to school.
Oh, you're much too smart for a poor old woman that ain't had no schooling or nothing.
Yeah.
That'll be the day when you can outsmart your old granny.
Hey, Uncle Jed, you done changed again in the middle of the day. Hey, young maid, Granny, come on inside. Uncle
Your brain was as big as your mouth. You'd be teaching school instead of going to it.
Oh, you done slickered your hair down again. And put smell 'em on it, too. And shined your shoes.
You better be quieting down, Ellie, or you're going to get a mouthful of hat.
Monsieur Clampets.
Oh, howdy there, Miss Denise. You look as pretty as a bag full of striped candy.
Je suis si content de vous revoir. Je pensais constamment à vous à Paris. Je souhaite que vous ayez reçu de mes nouvelles avec ma photographie. J'attendrai avec plaisir et impatience d'avoir votre photo signée de votre main et que je garderai toujours près de moi.
Just my luck. Another hour and I'd have been able to understand every word she said.
Margaret, this was my den, and you said I could have it back.
All right, dear. If you'd rather I add a new wing to the house.
Ah, never mind. I'll keep on using the basement.
Mildred, isn't it cunning?
Where are the puppies?
They're with their mumsy-wumsy.
I'm surprised you didn't hire a baby nurse.
Oh, I must speak to the poodle pediatrician about that. Melbourne, this is going to be the most thrilling moment. Our first look at our first grandchildren.
Will you please stop calling them that? They are dogs. Now, let's have our look so I can get back to the bank.
Oh, but wait, dear. Don't forget your mask.
What? For heaven's sake.
Oh! It's that hillbilly beast. Shoo! Scat! You mongrel!
Margaret, something tells me you closed that window a couple of months too late.
Oh, Milton. How are we going to break this to Claude? He's already in analysis.
Now, try again, Mr. Clampett.
Bonjour, mon ami.
Once more.
Bonjour, mon ami.
Good. Now, what does that mean?
Open the window?
No, that is ouvrez la fenêtre.
The pen of my aunt.
No, that is la plume de ma tante. Bonjour, mon ami, is good day, my friend.
Oh, that's right. How long have we been at this French lesson?
About 55 minutes.
And you say it takes an hour?
That's right.
Well, them last 5 minutes must be doozies.
Now let's take Je t'aime.
Je t'aime.
Good. Now what does that mean?
Oh, let's see now. The pencil box?
Mr. Clampett, I love you.
Well, thank you, ma'am, but since we only got 5 minutes left, maybe we better stick to business.
I think that will be enough for today. Where is Mademoiselle Denise?
Oh, Ellie Mae took her down to the cement pond to meet her critters. Bonjour, mon ami.
Excellent, excellent. Howdy, you furry little barman.
Well, if that's French, we've been talking it for years.
I rather imagine she learned that from listening to Ellie Mae.
Jed! Miss Drysdale's here, and she's squawking like a 2-pound chicken laying a 3-pound egg.
There you are, Mademoiselle Denise. You may take this wanton Jose back to the streets of Paris, where she belongs.
What, Mrs. Drysdale?
Milburn, show them why.
Oh, quel bébé précieux! Monsieur Duc, je pensais que vous êtes le papa.
Duke, there sure enough is a family resemblance.
He's as guilty as sin. Claude will be over later to demand satisfaction and to wreak vengeance on this mongrel.
If that means he's going to tangle with Duke here, I wouldn't recommend it. I've seen this old hound dog hold his own with a bobcat.
And as we're calling him a mongrel, the bloodhound happens to have much more ancient lineage than the French poodle.
Milburn, are you going to tolerate this insult?
Why not? I'm not a French poodle.
Miss Drysdale, does all this talking mean we can keep these here puppies?
And this shameless canine coquette. Come, Milburn. It's time for Claude's tranquilizer.
Well, is everybody staying for supper?
Well, Granny, I kind of figured that Miss Denise being so far from home and all, that she might want to eat supper out at one of them French eating places.
Well, good. If that's what she wants, let her go. How many of us does that leave?
Well, you don't understand. I'd be going with her.
Well, cooking ain't good enough for you, huh?
Granny, it ain't that. It's just I'd like to spend a little time with her alone.
Oh? Well, why didn't you say so?
Miss Hathaway, would you please ask Miss Denise if she'd allow me to take her out for victuals?
Certainly. Monsieur Clampett, voudrez-vous inviter à dîner?
Enchanté, monsieur. Je serai charmé et honoré.
Something tells me that meant yes.
ready.
We?
Yes, you'll need an interpreter.
Well,
Mr. Clampett, if you're thinking 3's a crowd, you're right. But I have taken care of that. Jethro?
Attendez?
Hey, Uncle Jed, Miss Jane says we's going to double date.
Well, that wasn't exactly the way I planned.
Mr. Clampett, I told Jethro that if you went out tonight, it would be a double date.
Oh, well, in that case, I can't let you break your promise. Double date it'll be. Well, ma'am, we didn't talk much, but I can't remember when I've had a better time. How'd you like it?
Well, Dougie.
How about you two in the back seat? You enjoy the double date? Granny, you seen anything about Winston's cigarettes? I bought 2 cartons this morning.
Got 'em right here for you, Jed.
Well, Granny, where is all the crush-proof boxes these Winstons come in?
Well, Jed, I needed them.
What for?
For my yarbs and spices and things.
Granny, the Winston folks make these crush-proof boxes special to protect these fine-tasting cigarettes of theirs.
Well, they're good for protecting my yarbs and my spices, too. You can keep the jar. I'll trade you even.
Granny, I can't go around carrying this jar full of Winstons in my pocket.
You want me to make you a bigger pocket?
No, I just want my Winstons back where they belong. I gotta say one thing about Winstons. Whether they come in a pack, a box, or a jar, them rascals taste good.
Like a cigarette should. It do rhyme better.
The Beverly Hillbillies has been presented by Winston. We hope you've enjoyed it, and we hope you will try Winston, because Winston tastes good, like a cigarette should.
Well, now it's time to say goodbye to Jed and all his kin. They would like to thank you folks for kindly dropping in. You're all invited back next week to this locality to have a heaping helping of their hospitality. Hillbilly, that is. Set a spell. Take your shoes off. You all come back now. Here.
This has been a Filmways presentation.
Come ride the little train that is rolling down the tracks to the junction. Forget about your cares, it is time to relax at the junction. Lots of curves, you bet, and even more when you get to the junction.
Petticoat Junction.
There's a little hotel called the Shady Rest at the junction.
Petticoat Junction.
It is run by Kate. Come and be her guest at the junction.
Petticoat Junction.
And that's Uncle Joe. He's a moving kind of slow at the junction. Petticoat Junction.
What was that?
Nothing to worry about, Uncle Joe. It's called silence.
Hi, boy.
I'm sorry, kids, to break off all that fancy stomping and hopping to that dandy music. but I'd like to be able to hear Charlie and Floyd.
Sure, Mrs. Bradley, that's okay.
Besides, it's the first chance I've had today to rest my frazzled nerves and shattered eardrums.
Yeah, we're real sorry, Mrs. Bradley.
Yeah, we're also darn anxious to do good in that Hooterville Hop Contest next month. We kind of get carried away.
Yeah, well, for the time being, would you mind being carried away to the kitchen for some milk and cookies?
Thanks, Mom.
And please, chew quietly.
Here you are, Kate. Today's mail.
One postcard?
Better than yesterday. 3 bills and a circular on low-cost Las Vegas weekends.
Why, this is from Mr. Norman Curtis of the railroad.
Nutty Norman? You're kidding. What's he say?
He says he's in Europe.
That's no surprise. He also says he's president of the railroad.
Joe, let's see. He says he's in Europe, having a wonderful... Can't make out the next word.
Vacation.
That's right, vacation. The people here are very...
Friendly.
Yeah. And the weather is...
I couldn't make that out either.
Delightful.
Thank you, Joe. I plan to be here 3 months. Regards to everyone. Sincerely, Norman Curtis.
Since when did they start spelling sincerely L-O-V-E?
Charlie. That's just his way of being friendly. I think it was very nice of Mr. Curtis to think of us all the way over here from Paris.
Paris. Ha! He's pathetic.
No, he's not. And I'm worried. Suppose Mr. Bedlo comes up with another scheme to close down the cannonball while he's gone. Now, you know that Mr. Curtis is always on our side.
So what? Nutty Norman ain't any more president of that railroad than I am.
Well, I don't know. But in some way, Mr. Curtis seems to be Mr. Bedlo's superior.
That don't prove nothing. Who ain't?
Bedlo, as your superior, I have a right to know why you're requesting a temporary transfer to Hooterville.
Mr. Giddings, you know that miserable Hooterville cannonball is the one rotten apple in the whole CNFW barrel. Close down that line while Curtis is in Europe, and you will be able to walk into the next stockholders' meeting as the, well, shall we say, the CNFW Man of the Year.
I have strict orders from Norman Curtis not to close down the cannonball.
But you're not going to close it down. You'll be improving it.
This scheme is even sneakier than I thought. You've lost me.
JB, appoint me superintendent of that line, and I'll institute an efficiency campaign that'll make those people down there wish they'd never heard of the Hooterville cannonball.
You're beginning to find me.
Believe me, JB. When I get through with them down there, you won't have to close down the line. They'll do it themselves and be grateful for the chance.
And I won't be bucking Curtis's orders either.
Oh, more than that, you'll be the stockholders' hero. Remember, JB, this company's ready for new and dynamic leadership.
Bedlo, I'm sending you to Hooterville as superintendent of that line. But there's less than a month until the stockholders' meeting. If you're going to get the job done in time, you'd better leave as soon as possible.
Whatever you say, JB.
Kate, Joe. Hi, boy. Beautiful day, ain't it? Makes a man glad he's alive.
Good morning, everybody.
I wish I was dead.
Homer, Bedlo, what are you doing in Hooterville?
That's like asking a fox what he's doing in the hen house.
Oh, that's very witty, Mr. Carson. I'm going to enjoy living with you at the Shady Rests.
You're staying here? For how long?
Only as long as it takes to get the job done. Mrs. Bradley, do you have yearly rates?
Mr. Bedlo, what are you talking about?
Tell me, Charlie. Any more foolish questions?
But, Mr. Bedlo,
Now, stop mumbling, man, when you're talking to the new superintendent of the Hooterville Cannonball. Now, come along, let's get going.
Get going where to?
To work. We've got a schedule to keep.
What schedule?
This schedule.
A schedule for the cannonball?
The thought of that makes my heart jump up into my throat, Mr. Bedlo.
Well, swallow it. Let's get going. We've got to be in Hooterville in 12 minutes.
What for?
Because it says so here.
There ain't nothing happening in Hooterville this time of day. What do we do when we get there?
Go back to Pixley.
Why?
Because it says so here.
Mr. Bedlo, we can't follow a schedule like this. Why, it calls for 14 runs a day.
15. You're forgetting the 4 a.m. milk run.
Who drinks milk at 4 a.m.?
Now stop stalling and get on a train.
Just a minute, the boys haven't eaten yet. And Charlie always gets dizzy spells when he doesn't get his proper nourishment.
Yeah, he's been known to get dizzy 10 or 12 times a day.
Mr. Bedlo, we're not leaving till we have our lunch.
Just a minute. I'd like to read to you Article 7 from the Book of Rules of the CNFW Railroad. Insubordination. Any employee who disobeys an order from a superior is subject to immediate dismissal.
I guess you better go, boys. And I'll fix you some sandwiches to take along with you.
Article 26. Eating or drinking while on duty constitutes a violation of the CNFW rules governing deportment. This is also covered by Clause 96, road etiquette.
We get the point, Mr. Bedlo.
Don't worry, boys. I'll keep the food warm for when you stop on your way back.
What stop? You might as well know now, Mrs. Bradley, that the Cannonball is only making 3 stops a day at the Shady Rest. In the morning, to pick me up. At noon, for lunch. And in the evening, to bring me back again.
Is that last stop necessary?
It's covered by Article 32, welfare and comfort of the supervisory personnel.
That's what it's all about. I might have known it's another one of your low-down, sneaky schemes to shut down the Cannonball.
I couldn't have described it better myself, Mrs. Bradley. Beautiful, isn't it? We're pulling out in 1 minute.
I ain't going.
You have to. That's what he's trying to do, get you to quit. Just like he's trying to shut down the Shady Rest with those 3 stops a day.
I knew that guy'd never change. He's got a one-track mind.
Yeah, the track from Hooterville to Pixley. He's aiming to make it so tough on us that we're going to shut down the Cannonball ourselves.
Then we got to get him out of the Shady Rest.
Oh, no. It's better to have him where we can keep an eye on him and know what he's up to.
Well, what are you aiming to do about him, Kate?
We just got to outlast him. This is a war of nerves.
Well, that's the only trouble. He's got more nerve than we got.
True.
That's enough time for breakfast. Let's get rolling. This isn't the old days. Let's look alive. I'm sorry, Kate. That's all I got time for now.
You did pretty good today. You almost got through your first helping.
Well, Mrs. Bradley's still hanging on, are you?
We got lots of patients, Mr. Bedlo.
Yes, but no guests. Not since I put in that new schedule. I don't know why Pratt and Smoot haven't thrown in the towel, unless it's because they wanted for one good cry.
You never managed to beat us before. Don't you think you're a mite overconfident?
Nonsense. I could finish you all off in one day. My only reason for stretching it out is my analyst told me I don't get enough pleasure out of life. Good evening, everybody. Beautiful evening, isn't it? Oh, do my eyes deceive me? Is it possible that I am witnessing a touch of communal despair? What a picture you make. If only I was an artist and could immortalize this moment in oils, I assure you the painting would occupy a prominent place on my office wall and forever in my heart.
Mr. Bedlo, if you've got a heart, I'd like to see it.
Yeah, me too. Right out in the open.
What'd you do with Floyd and Charlie?
They're fast asleep at their post in the locomotive cab. That way they thought they'd get a good night's sleep.
Those two poor boys sure have a good rest coming to them.
Not a chance. In 2.5 hours' time, we're taking a practice emergency run. Oh, what a lovely night for a train ride.
You won't think it's such a lovely night when all you get for supper is a cucumber sandwich.
I had a hunch something like that would happen. The Pixley Diner barbecues a fine chicken. One of you girls bring a plate up to my room. But oh, by the way, Mrs. Bradley, since you won't be cooking dinner for me tonight, I'll naturally expect you to deduct it from my bill.
If I was a younger and stronger man, I'd sure show him.
Yeah, Uncle Joe, you'd knock his block off, huh?
No. I'd walk all the way to Pixley and get me some of that chicken.
Will you stop that racket? Mrs. Bradley, what kind of a hotel is this where a man can't get a decent 2.5 hours sleep?
But it's so early.
Early? In another 45 minutes, it's going to be almost 9 o'clock. Have you forgotten I'm to take a practice emergency run?
Who could forget an absolute necessity like that?
This is too much.
You're right, Mr. Bedlo. This is too much. We've had enough of your ridiculous rules and schedules. You've been acting like a child, complaining like a child, and now you're even going to bed like a child. What you need is a good spanking.
No, Mrs. Bradley. I'm a guest here. I didn't pay for this kind of treatment.
That's okay. The spanking's on the house.
You know, Mrs. Bradley, at this moment, you remind me very much of my mother. And we didn't get along either.
Your mother sounds like a fine, intelligent woman. And at this moment, I just wish I was your mother.
Sounds to me like you're not happy with my patronage.
We ain't happy with any part of you.
Very well. I'll leave the first thing in the morning. I'm sure I can get suitable accommodations in Pixley.
Okay, girls, start dancing again, and to heck with you, Bedlo.
Very well, Mrs. Bradley. Since I won't be living here, there won't be need for the cannonball to stop at the Shady Rest anymore.
I think you spoke a little too harshly, Kate.
Don't worry about him, Uncle Joe. I wouldn't want him for a guest if he was the last one we ever had. And I think he is.
We might as well face up to it. This time Bedlo's got us licked. The Shady Rest ain't gonna have no more guests than Floyd and me's through.
Charlie's right, Kate. Me and him's tired than two hounds chasing a fast rabbit.
I'll tell you what Floyd and me done. We told him in so many words that if the cannonball ain't stopping at the Shady Rest no more, we're through running it.
Oh, you shouldn't have done that, Charlie. That's exactly what he wants. If you and Floyd quit, he can shut down the cannonball.
Well, he's gonna do it anyhow, sooner or later.
Where'd Bedlo go?
Into the city, CNFW stockholders meeting he had to attend. You know, somebody ought to tell them stockholders how their money's being wasted. Paying a man $30,000 a year to be superintendent of a one-track line.
You mean the railroad's paying Bedlo $30,000 a year?
He was bragging about it a couple of days ago.
That's the biggest train robbery since Jesse James.
That's our answer.
Oh, wait a minute, Kate. We may be desperate, but robbing the cannonball ain't gonna help.
That's not what I mean. I mean that somebody should tell the stockholders how their money is being wasted. Why, they'd never stand still for a $30,000 a year man running this line.
You're right, Kate. They'll put Bedlo where he belongs, back on his regular job, and we can get to living normal again.
Yeah, but who's going to tell the stockholders?
Us. We'll go to the meeting.
Well, they'll never let us in.
Oh, yes, they will if we're stockholders.
Kate, you don't expect us to buy CNFW stock.
All we need's one share.
My golly, Kate, I believe you blundered onto something.
Well, thank you, Uncle Joe. Now, are we all for it?
Aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous. Now then, I'll get Sam Drucker to buy the share of stock for us, and then with luck, we'll be buying Mr. Bedlo a one-way ticket out of our lives forever.
JB, when those two imitation railroadmen told me they were quitting, I knew that my mission was accomplished.
You did it, huh?
Yes, sir, JB. We've seen the last of that disgraceful traveling eyesore.
Good. Then I can announce that the Cannonball is out of business. It's going to be scrapped.
Right. That's one headache that's gone forever.
Well, looks like we're getting some visitors.
Oh. Excuse me a minute, JB. Just a minute. You can't come in here.
Why, hello, Mr. Bedlo.
Well, this meeting is for the stockholders of the CNFW.
That's us.
Here's our share of stock.
Hooterville Investment Fund.
And we're the Homer Bedlo Fan Club.
Oh, that's very flattering. It's gratifying to know that my modest efforts in your community haven't gone unnoticed. Bedlo must go.
Yeah, there was two more words telling where, but we ran out of girls.
But a few people have come here to save the Cannonball. I'm afraid you're a little late.
What do you mean?
Well, if you'll just sit down and make yourself comfortable, the service is about to begin.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, I have an important announcement to make, which I'm sure will please all of the stockholders. It is with great pride that I am able to inform you that the one disgraceful, outmoded eyesore of the entire CNFW system has been eliminated. The Hooterville-Pixley branch line is no longer in operation.
That's a good move, Giddings. It'll save us a lot of money.
It will?
Yes. One of our visiting stockholders, a lady from out of town, has made us aware of an interesting fact, which our comptroller has confirmed. We stood to lose $30,000 on that branch line this year, the very amount that we were paying the superintendent. Well, since you're closing down the line, why not get rid of the superintendent and save the $30,000?
What? Sure. We don't need a superintendent for a line that no longer exists. Fire him.
Fire the superintendent?
Mr. Bedlo, it seems that if we don't have the Cannonball, you won't have a job. You're in the same boat with us.
And this time the rat's going down with the ship.
As one sailor to another, I think we should pull for shore together.
Well, I hate to admit it, Mrs. Bradley, but you're right. Gentlemen and ladies, just a moment. You're making a terrible mistake. You can't shut down the Hooterville Cannonball. That's the greatest little train that was ever built. Whoever says that magnificent example of early American railroading should be scrapped deserves to be scrapped. Call me sentimental and tender-hearted if you must. But to me, that beautiful and distinctive example of Americana is the pride of the CNFW.
But as I understand it, the Hooterville Cannonball runs on an outdated, inefficient line that doesn't even keep a schedule.
That's not true.
Well, since when?
Since you sent us the best superintendent in railroad history. Why, you can't shut down that line after what he's done for it. He has given us a schedule that outdoes any other line in the country. Right, Charlie?
14 runs a day.
Plus the milk run.
And Mr. Bedlo has shown us the light.
At 4 a.m.
In the dark.
But it's still costing us $30,000.
Well, When you want the best, you gotta pay for it.
Exactly. What's a paltry $30,000 compared to the welfare and happiness of the fine and noble people of that community who depend upon that line? And what about these two self-sacrificing individuals who run that great little train? I refer to my good friends and close companions, Charlie Pratt and Floyd Smoot, two brave and selfless creatures who I've seen deprived of food and sleep just to keep the cannonball rolling. And gentlemen, with us today is the proprietress of the Shady Rest Hotel. I couldn't love her more, even if she were my own mother. And her three charming daughters, who, by the way, are my fan club.
Must Bedlo go! Must Bedlo go!
Gentlemen, you haven't lived unless you've seen these three charming creatures give one of her delightful folk dances. What more can I say, gentlemen? The people in this valley are our kind of people, the greatest people in the world. Let the CNFW be known as the railroad with a heart. Gentlemen, I beg you, do not scrap the Hooterville cannonball.
I suggest that the CNFW be known as the railroad with a heart. And that we reopen the Hooterville-Pixley line and keep on the superintendent.
Of course.
Gentlemen, we don't want to keep our wonderful superintendent on the Hooterville Cannonball.
Well, why not? You were just telling us how much you wanted him.
Well, I may be a woman, but underneath it all, I'm a stockholder. It'd be very selfish of us to want to keep Mr. Bedlo in Hooterville. He should be sent to other trouble spots.
Yeah, Trouble's his middle name.
Did you hear that, Giddings?
I certainly did. And I know just the place where Mr. Bedlo should be sent. To our newly acquired railroad line in Kodiak, Alaska.
The cannonball rides again.
We owe it all to Mr. Bedlo. He was terrific.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, we won't forget you, Bedlo, even though you are way up there in Alaska. You can thank Kate for keeping your job for you.
Oh, it was nothing. After all, we were in the same boat together, weren't we, Mr. Bedlo?
Only while we were sinking. From now on, it's war again.
Of course. After you get back from Alaska. You know, Mr. Bedlo, I think those Eskimos up there are going to take to you just like we did. Let's go.
Petticoat Junction. This has been a Filmways presentation.
Come and listen to my story about a man named Jed, a poor mountaineer, barely kept his family fed. And then one day he was shooting at some food, and up through the ground come a bubbling crude oil, that is, black gold, Texas tea. Well, the first thing you know, old Jed's a millionaire. The kinfolks said, Jed, move away from there. Said, California is the place you ought to be. So they loaded up the truck and they moved to Beverly Hills, that is, swimming pools, movie stars.
The Beverly Hillbillies.
Now come along and visit with the Clampet family as they learn the simple pleasures of the hills of Beverly. That includes the products of your sponsor of the week, the cereals of Kellogg's, Kellogg's of Battle Creek. corniest flakes anybody makes, Kellogg's.
Jessie had a wife to mourn all her life, the cheering he was brave. 'Twas a dirty little coward that shot Mr. Howard, and they laid Jesse James in his grave. 'Twas a Saturday night.
Jethro and me's awfully worried about Granny.
What's she doing? Nothing. Just sitting in the kitchen, rocking and staring at the wall.
She won't talk to nobody nor say hi to her.
Yeah, I noticed Granny kind of drooping this morning. I reckon she misses Pearl.
But them two was always scrapping.
I reckon that's what she misses. You know, Granny's a lot like that band of yours, Ellie. She loves to scrap.
That's the truth. Used to pleasure her considerable to throw Aunt Pearl out of her kitchen.
Yeah, Granny don't want no one cooking in there except her.
Jethro, I think you just come up with an idea.
I did?
What was it? Ellie will go out there and act like she's going to fix up a mess of victuals. That'll get Granny's hackles up.
You take care of her for me, Jethro.
Now, Ellie Mae, I know it's against your nature, and I know how much you love your Granny. But for her own sake, I want you to try to be real spiteful. Try to get her riled up.
Do it, Paul.
Hey, Uncle Jed, can I go too? After all, it was my idea. Wasn't it?
Yeah, Jethro. And take that bandy along with you. Ain't nothing riles Granny more than chickens in the kitchen.
Wait, I'm gonna cook up a mess of victuals. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get out every pot and pan in this here kitchen, and I'm gonna whomp up the doggonedest meal anybody ever tasted.
Hi, Ellie. What you fixing on doing?
I'm gonna cook up some victuals.
Granny don't allow nobody to cook victuals in her kitchen.
I don't care what Granny don't allow. I'm gonna cook up some victuals anyhow.
I'll help you.
Here now, what are you young'uns up to?
Oh, we's gonna cook us some victuals.
Why, you know Granny don't allow that in her kitchen.
We don't care what Granny don't allow.
We's gonna cook us some victuals anyhow.
Jethro, is that a chicken you're holding?
Yes, sir.
Well, you better get shed of it right away. No, I mean outside. Ain't nothing riles Granny more than chickens in her kitchen. This is worse than I thought.
Don't nothing rile her up.
We gotta try harder. Ellie Mae, what you figuring on cooking?
Grits.
Grits? Why, your Granny just cooked a mess of grits last night.
I know, Paul, but them was the worst mess of grits anybody ever cooked.
Well, heck, I ate 4 great big heaping bowl.
Ellie Mae Clampet, what a spiteful, riling thing to say about your Granny's cooking.
Child is right, kid. I can't do nothing no more. I ain't worth the powder to blow me up with.
Granny, I didn't mean it. Paul made me say it. It was the best grits ever.
They sure was, Granny. Like I was gonna tell you. I ate 4 great big bowls. But Uncle Jed, he wouldn't let me tell you. And he made me throw that chicken on you, too.
I don't blame Jed for wanting to get rid of me. I'm just a useless old woman. I ain't good for nothing or nobody. My time has come.
Now, Granny, hold on there.
No, Jed. Just do me one favor. Send me back home. I don't want to die in this foreign country.
Now, hush that kind of talk.
Paul, you ain't gonna let Granny...
Don't try to shield me from him, young'uns. Just make it quick and merciful, Jed. Poleaxe me.
Well, I sure made a mess of that. Come on, maybe we can think of something if we go outside and put our 2 chicken brains together.
Oh, come on, Uncle Jed.
You wait here, I'll go and see Mr. Drysdale.
I asked Miss Jane to come to supper, too. Mr. Drysdale, look who's here.
I don't want to be no bother.
Well, it's always a pleasure to see you, Mr. Clampett. Sit down, sit down.
Thank you.
Well, now, what can I do for you?
Well, I got a little problem.
Your problems are my problems. What's troubling my favorite depositor?
Well, who?
You, Mr. Clampett, you.
Oh. Well, you see, it's Granny. That poor little old woman is feeling lower than a fat frog in a dry well.
Well, now, we must do something to cheer her up.
Indeed, we must.
You see, back home, we just have a bunch of neighbors in and have us a do. Ain't nothing pleasures Granny more than doing for folks.
Doing?
Yeah, you know, womping up a big feed, tapping a keg of her cider, seeing everybody has plenty to eat and drink and has a good time.
Can't Granny do that here?
Well, you folks is about the only ones we know.
We'll be happy to come, just say when.
I reckon the sooner the better.
How about tonight?
I'll be right neighborly. Miss Drysdale in town?
Yes, she is, and she'll be delighted to come. Delighted.
I would rather face the firing squad.
Honey bun, please.
I cannot picture myself, with my fine old Boston background, sitting down to dine with those prehistoric hillbillies.
Don't.
Milburn, I have told you repeatedly, I will not mingle socially with the Clampets.
And I have told you repeatedly that their money is the pillar of this bank.
Money isn't everything.
Only if you have plenty, which you will not unless you go to Granny's dinner, because I will cut off your allowance.
You wouldn't.
Try me.
You brute. Associating with Jed Clampett has made you the same kind of a man that he is.
Oh, no, Margaret. If I were the kind of man Jed Clampett is, I wouldn't waste time talking. Oh, no. I would put you across my knee and paddle your fine old Boston background.
Chief, Mrs. Drysdale, this is indeed a red-letter day. Guess who has just landed on the roof?
Well, it's a little early for Santa Claus.
No, indeed. It's our distinguished chairman of the board, Mr. Martin Van Ranserhorst.
What? Well, I thought he was on the World Cruise.
No, he's anchored his yacht off Balboa and helicoptered in to see you.
Mr. Van Ranserhorst.
Marty Milburn, call me Marty.
You know Mrs. Drysdale.
Oh, yes, of course. Congratulations.
Congratulations for what?
Well, I think you should be the first to know I'm elevating your husband to the board of directors.
Board of directors?
Nice, Simon.
Yes, well, he deserves it. Any man that can land the Clampett account is my kind of banker. And I want the two of you to celebrate with me having dinner on my yacht.
Well, thank you. We'd be delighted.
I have a new French chef that's a genius. Every meal is an adventure.
Sounds marvelous.
But, darling, have you forgotten that we're dining with the Clampets this evening?
Oh, well, don't worry about that. I'll call it off.
Oh, no, we won't. There's one man I want to meet, J.D. Clampett. Business genius. Financial wizard. Shrewd, calculating, incisive.
Mr. Clampett?
Who told you Mr. Clampett was that kind of a man?
You did.
I did?
Yes, right after you landed the account.
Oh, then, yes.
Well, he's still the same kind of man, isn't he?
Of course, certainly. He's
crude.
What was that?
Shrewd. Thank you, Margaret. That's just the word I was looking for. Come on, dear. I'm sure you want to rush out and buy yourself a new wardrobe to celebrate your husband's promotion. I'm doubling your allowance.
Hilton, now you see what trouble mingling with the lower classes can bring. What do you intend to do?
Just what any decent, sensible man would do who has lied his way into trouble. I'm going to lie my way out. Oh, Mr. Van Ranselhoff.
Marty.
Oh, yes, Marty. Well, the Clampets won't be able to have dinner with us on your yacht.
Well, why not?
Well, it was foolish of me to forget this, but they're rather susceptible to seasickness, sort of a family characteristic.
Well, that's ridiculous. They won't get seasick on my yacht. Compared to mine, the Vanderbilts have a rowboat. The whole dining saloon is as solid as this building.
Just being near the ocean upsets them.
Yeah, what a shame. I was going to fly the entire Lido Dupree show down from Las Vegas. Entire company, a little entertainment during dinner. What's a meal without some atmosphere, huh?
Just one of those things.
I'll tell you what you do. Jane, Charter me a jet, see? We'll fly everywhere to Hawaii, have a little luau, everywhere, moo-moos or mawa. The hula, you do the hula? It'll be a ball.
I'm sorry, they're also subject to air sickness.
You just can't have an ordinary dinner for a sophisticated man of the world like J.D. Clampett.
Sophisticated man of the world?
That's what Milburn says. Bon vivant, international financier. Those were your exact words.
They were? Oh, they were, yeah.
I tell you what, I haven't done this in years. Jane, get charter a train, see, and I'll get the galley crew and the chef. We'll have an orchestra in the club car, dinner on the train, and dessert in San Francisco. Should be $1 million less. Last time I did this was between Paris and San Moritz. Had everybody dressed as Swiss yodel. St. Bernard dogs running with kegs of brandy into the neck. Wow, wow, wow. I tell you, the Duke and Duchess, it really was embarrassing. What's the matter?
They get train sick, too.
Well, how do these people travel? In space capsules? Well, just don't stand there. Come up with an idea.
I'm racking my brain, believe me.
Granny? Granny, look-a here. I learned Earl a new trick. He's a dead rooster. Dog.
Just put us both in a pine box and send us home for burying.
He ain't really dead. He's just playing. Look at this. See? He's alive.
More than I can say for me.
Killing me? You just stop playing with that chicken. You got lots to do.
What, Paul?
Oh, cooking for company, that's what. We're having a big doings.
Well, who's all coming?
Well, Miss Hathaway, Mr. Drysdale, Miss Drysdale, I don't know who all.
Well, what'll I cook?
Fanciest spread ever. Jethro's out right now getting some fresh victuals. I reckon you start heating the water for the owl soup, and I'll go down to the cellar and fetch up some salted possum.
Hold on, everybody. We's having a do, I'm gonna do the doing. Now, you may get this chicken out of here. Nothing riles me like chickens in my kitchen. And the rest of you scat, too. Ellie Mae, you set the table in the fancy eating room. Jed, you go cut me some fresh greens. Oh, we're gonna have a doings for the folks next door. I'll bake 'em up a possum and plenty victuals more. We'll have a keg of cider and a little Mountain Dew, and we'll all have ourselves up hullabaloo.
Look, there's a place out here called the Coliseum, isn't there?
Yes, it's a stadium.
Oh, good, good. We'll hire it for the night. Tell you what, we'll have a Roman bacchanal, see? All the guests will wear togas. They'll have laurel wreaths in their hair.
Marty.
Yes?
I don't think you can get the Coliseum on such short
Well, I'll
notice.
tell you what, we'll get Grauman's Chinese. That's a thing. Rent the theater, you understand? Have all the guests dressed in kimonos, and we'll have dinner out in the forecourt. Oh, and by the way, Jane, get me some fresh cement. I'll bet you Jed Clampett never put his footprints in wet cement while eating fried shrimp.
Well, tell you the truth.
Oh, I know what you're going to say. That's the trouble with fellas like Clampett and me. We've been everywhere. We've done everything. There just are no new thrills.
Yes, that's probably why the Clampetts are such a secluded family. They never go out.
Say, by the way, you're going there for dinner tonight, aren't you?
Well, yes,
Jane, call them and ask if I could impose on their hospitality. I just got to meet the Clampett.
No, don't call.
Well, why not?
Well, they don't like to talk on the telephone. Now, I'll go up there in person and speak to them on your behalf.
Oh, good boy, good boy. Look, just in case, I better get a date for tonight. Get me Liz Taylor on the telephone.
I believe she's in Europe.
Judge Gabor. Married. Bridgerton married. Susan Hayward married. Jane Mansfield married.
Jane Hathaway. Single.
Who is she?
Yours truly.
Yeah, Shirley MacLaine married.
Mr. Van Ranserhoff, I think I should tell you that I already have an invitation to the Clampets for dinner tonight. We are very good friends. Very close.
Really?
Yes, indeed.
Oh, would you mind turning around? Debbie Reynolds is married.
Mr. Van Ranserhoff, I think you should also know that the Clampets do not, as they say, cotton to strangers.
Miss Hathaway, let me say that You have a date for this evening.
Jolly good. But, a word of caution. The fact that I have appeared eager might lead you to believe that I am a girl with whom you could take liberties. Nothing could be further from the truth. I permit no familiarity on the first date.
Bless you, my girl.
I can't tell you how sorry I am, Mr. Clampett, but you see, Mr. Van Ranselhoff is my boss.
Well, bring him along. Granny's got plenty of possum and grits and owl soup.
Well, I'd love to bring him, but he has dinner planned on his yacht, and I have to do what he wants. I'm terribly sorry.
Well, so am I. Poor Granny is going to be like a mule kick to her.
Well, tell her we'll come tomorrow night or tomorrow morning for breakfast if she likes, but tonight I have to be with Mr. Van Ranselhoff.
Well, I understand.
Thank you, Mr. Clampett. Thank you very much.
Better not bring these in to Granny just yet. When she hears the news, she's liable to commence flinging them.
Give him a knife, Jed. Just heard the news.
Now, simmer down, Granny. You can't catch Mr. Drysdale. He done gone.
What do you want to catch him for? Coming back here tonight with Miss Jane and Mr. Rancyhoff.
Is Mr. Rancyhoff coming here?
Sure he is. Miss Jane just called to see if he got the invite. I said, shucks, he don't need no invite. Just bring him along.
Hey, doggy. If Mr. Rancyhoff is coming, then they's all coming, because he's the boss.
Oh, we're gonna have a doing for the folks next door. Jane and Mr. Rancyhoff, and that makes 4. Have to take a cider and a little Mountain Dew, and we'll all have ourselves a hullabaloo.
What do you mean Rancelhoff's going to the Clampets? I'll be exposed. I'll be ruined.
Chief, veritas vincit omnia.
If that's the name of a poison, get me some.
See, the truth conquers all. Tell Mr. Van Rancelhoff the truth. Admit that you deceived him.
Do you know what happened to the last man who admitted that to Rancelhoff? He is now working at the bank at Moose Jaw, Alaska. He goes to work in a dog sled.
I have an idea. I am Mr. Van Rancelhoff's date tonight. I'll tell him the truth. I'll pick a romantic moment and seal it with a kiss.
Are you kidding? He has a bank north of Moose Jaw.
Wait till you see the divine gown I purchased. It was designed especially for an evening on a yacht.
We'll take it back and try to get something as good for a day on a dog sled.
Say, what a place, huh?
A veritable palace.
I hope this isn't one of those dull, stuffy, formal parties, you know. Last week I went to one at Buckingham Palace with the liveried servants and the protocol. Not a laugh all evening.
Well, I doubt very much it will be formal. On the contrary,
Oh, don't tell me. I love surprises. Elsa Maxwell gave me a surprise party last month at the Waldorf Astoria. Converted the main ballroom into Sahara Desert. Sand dunes and camels, real camels. Everybody came as chic. She came as a belly dancer, and I was Lawrence of Arabia. Oh, what a laugh.
Doing?
I'm packing for Moose Jaw, Alaska. Rancelhoff just arrived at the Clampets.
Surely you're exaggerating the situation.
Margaret, one look at those hillbillies and I'm an Eskimo.
Lady Clampett, may I present Mr. Martin von Rancelhoff?
How do you do, sir?
Hey, just call me Jed, and this here's Granny.
Pleasure to know.
How do you do? This is fabulous.
No, this is Ellie. My daughter, Ellie Mae.
Howdy there. See, I got a rooster that plays dead. You want to see him?
Now, May, let's wait till later to show off your critters. This fine young fella here is my nephew, Jethro.
Howdy, Mr. Rancyhoff.
He's my cousin Pearl's boy. We're right proud of Jethro. He's going to graduate from the 5th grade this year.
Congratulations, young man.
Well, thank you.
Well, let's all go sit in the parlor while Granny pulls a bung on a keg of cider.
Jane, this is marvelous, simply marvelous, and what a surprise. Who would think that a stuffy millionaire like Clampett would come up with a hillbilly party? The man is a genius, and those accents, they must have been practicing for weeks.
Longer than that.
Yes, when do they start the hoedown or the square dance or whatever they're going to do?
Oh, excuse me, Mr. Rancyhoff.
Marty.
Well, come on, Marty. Once Granny pulls the bung on that cider, it evaporates awful fast.
Look, we'd like to get in the spirit of the party. Have you got any more clothes like the one that you're wearing?
Sure. Ellie Mae, Jethro. Take these folks upstairs and get them some party clothes.
Is that the way? Is that the way? Hey!
Here I am.
You look like something out of Tobacco Road.
Well, you're not exactly Adolphe Menjou yourself.
You know, I can't get over an important millionaire like Clampett going to all this trouble to surprise me with a hillbilly party.
He's a wonderful man.
He's the greatest. He's a millionaire's millionaire. I'll always be grateful to Drysdale for... By the way, why aren't the Drysdales here?
Well, that's rather a long story, Mr. Van Ransenhoff.
Call me Marty the way Clampett does. That kills me.
Well, Marty. Mr. Drysdale thinks you're going to transfer him to your bank in Moose Jaw, Alaska.
Moose Jaw, Alaska?
Milburn, what are you doing?
I'm trying to figure out if I can convert these into snowshoes.
I've had enough of this ridiculous nonsense. Are we going to dinner or not?
No, that depends.
Mr. Van Ransenhoff spoke so highly of his French chef. I'm simply dying for a Chateaubriand.
How would you feel about a nice big dish of flaming blubber? I hear square dance music.
What does that mean?
It probably means that Ranselhoff has left. He's on his way over here, and we're on our way to Moose Jaw.
We can't wait no longer for the Drysdales. Her owl soup and chicken fried hawk is getting cold. This way to the fancy eating room.
Owl soup and chicken fried hawk. What a sense of humor. Drysdale's missing the party of the year. A do-see-do.
Dinner in the billiard room. This is priceless.
Now, before we all sit down, there's a couple things I better explain to you, Marty. Now, these sticks with the notches in them is the pot passers. And these pointy ones here is the meat stabbers. Is just dandy for stabbing stuffed crow.
I wish Elsa Maxwell and Pearl Mesta could be here.
Partial to stuffed crow, is they?
Well, come on, sit down, everybody. First we'll have Grace, and after that, Ellie Mae will pass out the deviled buzzard eggs. He is just fine with baked possum.
Yeah, I don't just a I tell you, fabulous. Is that fabulous? I tell you, I've been to parties all over the world, but this is the cleverest, the most original, and what food? Imagine calling roast pheasant au jus stuffed crow with gopher gravy. I noticed that you didn't eat much.
Oh, the excitement of the evening.
Yes, I must say, I don't blame you. I can hardly wait to get back from that around-the-world cruise, see what kind of party they're going to plan for me next.
Oh, Marty! Granny says you seem so fond of her deviled buzzard eggs, she wanted you to have these to take home with you.
Well, thank her for me.
You bet I will. Good night.
Good night. Is that beautiful? Still in character.
Yes, Chief.
Send it away. How did you know this is?
At this time of the night, who else would be calling me?
Well?
I've just prepared a bowl of Kellogg's cornflakes.
Miss Hathaway, tell me about it.
Well, you know about Kellogg's cornflakes. Crisp, golden flakes with real corn taste.
Miss Hathaway, what happened at the dinner?
Oh, he loved it. Thought it was a gag. You're in, Chief. Board of Directors.
Keep talking, Miss Hathaway.
Victory came at precisely 9:47 when Mr. Van Ransdale declared that you were...
Corniest flakes anybody makes, Kellogg's.
The Beverly Hillbillies has been presented by Kellogg's Corn Flakes.
Corniest flakes anybody makes, Kellogg's.
From Kellogg's of Battle Creek.
Now it's time to say goodbye to Jed and all his kin. They would like to thank you folks for kindly dropping in. You're all invited back next week to this locality to have a heaping helping of their hospitality. Hillbilly, that is. Set a spell. Take your shoes off. You all come back now. Here?
This has been a Filmways presentation.
Come ride the little train that is rolling down the tracks to the junction. Forget about your cares, it is time to relax at the junction. Lots of curves, you bet, and even more when you get to the junction.
Petticoat Junction.
There's a little hotel called the Shady Rest at the junction.
Petticoat Junction.
It is run by Kate. Come and be her guest at the junction.
Petticoat Junction.
And that's Uncle Joe. He's a moving kind of slow at the junction. Petticoat Junction.
All right, now you two, you get behind the desk. I'll get on the phone. On a phone that isn't connected? Yeah, let's not get ridiculous about this. But does the man from the bank know it isn't connected? Like I said, you get at the desk, I'll get on the phone.
My report will indicate the hotel is in excellent condition, considering its age, Mrs. Bradley.
Oh, that's thrilling news, Mr. Bunce.
But I'm afraid that's the only recommendation I can make to the bank about extending your loan.
You just put a chill in the thrill.
What's that? Reservations for a family of 6 for 2 weeks beginning the 19th? Just a moment. Can we take care of them? We can't take anything from the 19th through the 30th. The grocers' convention will be here then. And they're out of luck next month. We're booked solid. Sorry, sir, but starting in a week, we're going to be so jam-packed around here, well, there won't even be standing room in the lobby. Oh, certainly. I think we can squeeze you in then. Just a moment. Reserve 3 rooms for the Finch family, 14th to the 28th, month after next. Mr. Finch, your reservations have been confirmed, and I know you have a most enjoyable stay here at the... Oh, you know.
Yes, young lady, I know. When I tried to make a call earlier, Mr. Carson explained it wasn't connected.
Good old dependable Uncle Joe.
I believe he said he hung it there to give the place class.
Oh, yes, sir, that's true. But also, I use it to practice speaking into.
I hope I didn't embarrass you too much.
Oh, no, not a bit. Why, I always enjoy feeling like a complete idiot this time of day.
Kate, I got great news. Guess who got off the cannonball? Mrs. Clara Watkins, the social leader of Watkins County.
Uncle Joe, let's not
She and her
try...
son are coming up the hill right now, breathing money from every pore.
Uncle Joe, you're wasting your time.
Mrs. Watkins likes it here. Shady Rest could become the headquarters of the wealthiest people in these parts. Just think of all the money.
Uncle Joe, please settle down. It's no use. Mr. Bunce won't go for it. But don't feel bad. The girls just struck out on a lollapalooza.
Hey, Mrs. Watkins is coming up the hill right now.
And I might add, quite a climb. Well, they told me this wasn't much of a hotel, and they were right. Come on, Sonny. This little Victorian retreat appears to be just the place for you to do some serious thinking about yourself. I think a week here will prove relaxing, restful, and I feel painfully dull.
Welcome to Shady Rest. We're honored to have you as our guest.
Oh, yes, of course.
A sign right here, Mrs. Watkins.
Mrs. Watkins Smith at the moment. I always sign my name in honor of my late husband.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry.
Thank you, my dear. But when one loses as many husbands as I have lost, one becomes accustomed to it, and one does not look for sympathy.
Oh.
So what one looks for instead is another husband. Mrs. Clara Watkins Smith. Before that, I was Mrs. Clara Watkins Carter, and then before that, I was Mrs. Clara Watkins Hanover. And once I married a distant cousin, and I was Mrs. Clara Watkins Watkins. Oh, dear. That one only lived 2 months after I married him.
What a pity.
Yes, it was. Hardly worth the ceremony.
Yes, well, I've given you a dandy room. Our very best right in the front of the hotel, Mrs. Watkins.
Oh, just Watkins will do. And give Sonny here a room not too far from me.
Oh, number 10. That's bright and cheery. Got 2 windows in it.
Sonny needs a tranquil atmosphere where he can reflect upon himself and his future. This naughty boy has just been expelled from his 6th college.
It's too bad.
They say he's wild and uncontrollable. I'm sure it's true, but he certainly never acts that way when he's around me. Do you, Sonny?
No, Mummy.
Here's your suitcases, folks.
This here's the best-looking batch of alligator luggage we've ever carried on the cannonball.
If them alligators had known they was going to look this good, they'd have walked out of the river right into the factory all by themselves.
Thank you, boys. Girls, will you show the folks to their rooms?
Sure, Mom. This way, please.
Well, was that her nibs herself, or was that her nibs?
Yeah, it was her nibs, all right, Uncle Joe. More than likely, at one time, Mrs. Clara Watkins' nibs. Well, Mr. Bunce, how about it?
Well, I must admit that having Clara Watkins as a guest here could have some influence on my recommendation to the bank.
Great. Now you run over to that little old bank of yours and take care of the details.
Hold on now. It's not quite that simple. What I mean is, it could make a difference to our bank if Mrs. Watkins were to recommend this place to her wealthy friends.
Well, what's so funny, Bobby Joe?
Tell me, Mom, do you believe in love at first sight?
Well, I don't know. I guess so. Why?
Well, I think Sonny Watkins believes in it, too, but I'm not too sure about Billy Joe.
Well, what are you talking about?
Oh, wait, don't run away. Come here.
Later, Mr. Watkins.
You can call me Sonny.
Okay, Sonny, what do you say we talk later, all right? Mr. Bunce?
How are you? Nice place you have here.
Sonny's cute, isn't he?
Cute? Would you think so if he was annoying you?
Please, Mom, don't even think of it. I can't run as fast as Billy Joe.
I must say, Mrs. Bradley, I find your food exceptional. It's rich. You might say it suits my taste.
Oh, I'm real glad you like it, Mrs. Watkins. Real glad.
Well, Billy Joe, you've done it again. Romance blooms at the Shady Rest. Oh, lay off, will you?
You're right, Betty Joe. Our big sister, the blonde bombshell of the Shady Rest, has added another gorgeous hunk of man to her long list of admirers.
Oh, dry up. Her tremendous animal magnetism has attracted the attention of Jan Adonis, Sonny Watkins. Oh, knock it off, will you? Do you think that someday Sonny and Billy, I'm going to count to 3, and then I'm going to see if I still feel like becoming an only child. 1, 2, 3.
Hi, Billy Joe.
There you are. What's new?
I'll tell you what's new. I dig you. You're wild, baby. Wild.
You're so right. That's what I am. Wild. Wild, 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 wild. Here I go again. Wild old coyote.
Hey, wait up, will ya?
Good boy. Exercise will do wonders for you.
Oh, Miss Watkins, your mattress is fresh turned, and we hung up the rest of your things.
Come, my pets, I have the most glorious news for you.
Well, yes, Miss Watkins, what is it?
Oh, I'm so glad I brought Sonny here to this earthy environment. It's beginning to bring him to his senses. Now, my Sonny is the last of the Watkins line. The Watkins strain has always been fragile. And now, Sonny is the last puny leaf on the family tree. Oh, I know I have my work cut out for me. I have got to work to build him in body, mind, and spirit, to perpetuate the Watkins lineage, so that eventually he can assume the leadership of the Watkins dynasty, after I've relinquished it, of course.
I hope and trust that won't be for a long time, Mrs. Watkins.
You can hope and trust and bet your municipal bonds it'll be a long time. Now for the thrilling news. My Sonny has fallen in love with your Billy Joe.
Begging your pardon, Mrs. Watkins, but that doesn't startle us when a young man falls for Billy Joe.
Yeah, she averages about 1 a week.
2 in the summer when school's out.
But she has never had a Watkins fall in love with her.
No, I can't say that she has.
Now, my dear, you're coming to your senses.
Miss Watkins, Sonny is a very nice boy, but...
Mrs. Bradley, your daughter Billy Joe has the bone structure and the figure of a peasant.
Now, just a minute.
Oh, it's a lovely figure, my dear. Strong, durable, and incredibly healthy. Oh, she is the perfect creature to rebuild the Watkins family tree. Why, she could produce a flock of Watkins children with thicker bones and thicker blood and substantial bodies to match substantial minds, to handle the real substance of life. Money.
Yeah, well, Miss Watkins, we are going to have to settle something right here and now.
Oh, no, my dear. Settlements come after the wedding, not before.
No, Mrs. Watkins, they come now. You see, I know my daughter, Billy Joe, and how she acts around boys. And I know what she thinks about Sonny. Oh, they could be friends, good friends. But I'm sure that marriage is out of the question.
Mrs. Bradley, no one, but no one, rejects a Watkins in business or marriage and retains a relationship with us. Sonny and I are checking out of this antisocial, anti-financial, penny-ante environment immediately.
But we...
Well, Uncle Joe, what next?
I'll tell you what next. I'm going to sneak Miss Watkins and Sonny out of the room. I'm going to check them out real quiet, and then I'm going to tell Mr. Bunce that they left raving about the place.
I don't think you'll get away with it.
Neither do I.
Oh, wait, Mr. Bunce. Can't you take a joke? Wait, I was only joking, old buddy. Kate, you know there ain't really nothing wrong with marrying for money, especially if it's a difference between saving a hotel.
Uncle Joe, what are you saying?
Well, what I'm saying is that love and money go hand in hand, especially if you need it.
Well, even to save the hotel, how could you think of Billy Joe marrying that boy?
I ain't talking about that sweet child marrying that creepy kid. What I'm talking about is sweet old me marrying his creepy mother.
Just what is Uncle Joe up to, Mom?
Yeah, he took the longest bath he's ever taken. He's wearing his best clothes and smells like he drenched himself with a gallon of lilac Vegetal. Uncle Joe isn't really serious about romancing Mrs. Watkins, is he, Mom?
He better not be. If Uncle Joe married Mrs. Watkins, it'd sure cut down on his life expectancy.
Oh, Joseph, you're cute.
Well, having you visit with us makes me feel cute.
When you're all dressed up, you're quite the figure of a man, Joseph.
Well, thanks, Clara. I might say the same for you. I mean, quite the figure of a woman, that is.
Oh, you romantic rascal. You're the type that can turn a girl's head.
That's another great thing about you, Clara. Your youthful attitude.
Oh, one is as young as one feels. I feel as young as the day I graduated from high school. In fact, I even have the same measurements. 48, 48, 48.
Tremendous, Clara. That's tremendous. Like money in the bank.
That was divine, my dear, just divine.
Shall we try a foxtrot this time, my dear?
Oh, that's a capital idea, my pet.
Mom, have you heard? Did Uncle Joe tell you?
What is it? What about Uncle Joe?
Mr. Bunce said that Uncle Joe proposed to Mrs. Watkins last night, and she accepted.
Oh, what? Oh, that man, that noble, foolish, overaged flirt. He's got it in his head that the only way to save us in the hotel is to marry that husband-hunting man-eater.
Well, we can't let him do that.
I know. Mrs. Watkins to do nothing but have Uncle Joe out working hard to make more money for her.
Poor Uncle Joe. He's not used to work.
It'd kill him.
It'd probably be the shortest marriage in Mrs. Watkins' career. I'm going to put a stop to it, and right now. Uncle Joe, you are not going to marry that woman.
What do you think of this tie, Kate? Okay for a wedding?
Uncle Joe, would you please listen to me?
Oh, that's too somber. More for a funeral.
Well, if you're going through with this wedding, that's the one to wear.
Kate, who knows what the future holds in store for us? 'Tis a far, far better thing I do now than I've ever done before.
Will you stop reciting lines from old Ronald Colman movies and come to your senses?
I think I'll wear this one.
Not that one, you won't. Or any other, if I can help it. So you see, Mrs. Watkins, with Uncle Joe so set in his ways and grumpy and cranky and so downright unwilling to do a lick of work, it'd be a shame to marry a man like that.
I appreciate your candor, my dear, but I'm looking forward to this marriage with Joseph.
He's a challenge to me, perhaps my greatest. Up to now, I've only had one real challenge, and that was during my first marriage.
Uncle Joe reminds you of your first husband.
No, my first husband was no challenge at all. Joseph reminds me of a bulldog who was given to me as a wedding present.
Uncle Joe reminds you of a dog?
Yes, he was cute and determined and strong-willed, just like Joseph. You know, it took me the better part of 4 weeks to break his spirit. After that, I could handle him easily, just like I will Joseph. Now, don't worry, my dear. I'm going to make something of him if I have to run that adorable man right into the ground.
I see. That's real comforting news, Mrs. Watkins. Real comforting.
I sure hope it works, Mom.
Well, it's got to work, and I'm counting on 3 things to make it work. Floyd, Charlie, and Mrs. Watkins' greed.
Do you think Charlie and Floyd can do it, Mom?
Well, if they can't, I've wasted a basket of deep-fried chicken, 2 mince pies, and Uncle Joe's a goner.
Floyd, I told you to stay away from here. I've got just as much right being here as you have.
There they are. Come on.
Now, come on, Floyd. Get out of here. I will not. You ain't beating my time.
What is it, boys? What's going on?
I've come a-courting Clara Watkins. And when I come a-courting, I wears my courting clothes. Special design for romantic walks.
Charlie ain't a-getting the best of me. I wore my army uniform. It sure thrilled them French mademoiselles back there in 1918. And for extra insurance, I brought along my courting hair.
Oh, well, you look elegant. Real elegant, both of you. But, I got unpleasant news for you. Mrs. Watkins is engaged to Uncle Joe.
All the dang dratted infernal luck. The most enticing woman I ever laid my eyes on snatched right out from under my nose.
And right out from under my courting hair.
Yes, I know how disappointed you must be.
If you think we're disappointed, wait till you see the hangdog look on the faces of them salesmen that spotted her on the train.
They was a-figuring she was available for dating as soon as they got through with her selling.
Well, I reckon the most we can hope for is to dance with her at the wedding.
Well, goodbye, Kate, and goodbye, romance.
Well, just a moment. Excuse me, everybody. I couldn't help overhearing a teeny-weeny bit of your conversation, and I just didn't want you boys to leave with an erroneous impression.
Mrs. Watkins, are you saying that you're not engaged to Uncle Joe?
Well...
Is that what you're saying, pretty lady?
Are you saying there's a change for us? Please say there is.
You're down tootin'. And those salesmen, too. Oh, what I mean is, I've been thinking it over, and I think I'm too young to tie myself down right now. I think I should stay loose, so to speak, and have my fling.
Why, Clara, what are you saying? You can't back out now. You'll break my heart. This hotel, everything.
Joseph, I'm sorry. I've reconsidered, and the answer is no. I was caught up in a mad whirl of heady country air, and I made a wild, impulsive decision. Forgive me.
Listen, Clara, even though we ain't getting hitched, could you see your way clear to make me a little loan?
Why, Joseph? What's the problem?
Well, it's quite simple, Mrs. Watkins. Without your patronage, my bank will be forced to close down this hotel.
Oh? What bank do you represent?
The Pixley National Bank and Trust. Do you know it?
Know it. I own it.
You, own it?
Young man, in these parts, any business with the word bank in it, I own it.
Yes, ma'am, Mrs. Watkins. I should have known.
If you ever dreamt of extending a loan, you will extend it to this hotel. I wouldn't let this little playground close down for $1 million.
Yes, ma'am. Of course, Mrs. Watkins.
Mrs. Watkins, what can I say? How can I thank you?
Just say you're going to have a little dancing here tonight. And invite those salesmen I heard about. That will be adequate.
See you tonight, Clara. It'll be every man for himself.
Now you're talking. Well, I'll see you tonight. It's time for my little beauty nap. I wonder it can be.
Well, girls, we just saw Mom solve one mighty big problem with one dandy little idea.
She's really something.
But tell me, Billy Joe, what are you going to do about your big, hot, sizzling romance with Sonny? You're going to need an awful big idea to solve that one. Didn't I tell you? I solved it. Sonny! There she is.
Oh, your sister explained that you're more my type, and I agree.
Wait a minute, Sonny.
Oh, we share the same interests. Astrology, stamp collecting, Wiener Schnitzel.
Astrology, stamp collecting, Wiener Schnitzel? Oh, Billy Joe, you here. Wait a minute, back, fella, back. Now, listen, we'll talk about it later. We'll see you around, huh? I really think you're a nice guy, but later.
Oh, for crying out loud, where are you going?
To get my track shoes.
Petticoat Junction. This has been a Filmways presentation.
Come and listen to my story about a man named Jed. A poor mountaineer, barely kept his family fed. And then one day he was shooting at some food, and up through the ground come a bubbling crude oil, that is, black gold, Texas tea. Well, the first thing you know, old Jed's a millionaire. The kinfolk said, Jed, move away from there. Said, California is the place you ought to be. So they loaded up the truck and they moved to Beverly Hills, that is, swimming pools, movie stars.
The Beverly Hillbillies.
Come along and visit with the Clampet family as they take you to their mansion in the hills of Beverly. And when they do, you'll run into a friend of theirs you've met, that good old friend with filter blend, Winston cigarette. Winston tastes good like a cigarette should.
Don't forget, I need school supplies.
And I need victuals for my critters. And I need victuals for you critters.
I reckon I might as well draw out enough money to last us a month or two. Reckon $10 will do it.
Yeah, I never could sleep a wink with all that money in the house.
I told you not to drive with that hangover.
Anybody hurt?
I don't think so.
Well, no harm done, huh, kid?
Well, not to your car, but you kind of bent our bumper. I reckon I can straighten it out, though.
Atta boy. You going in the bank, old-timer? Yes, sir. I was planning to. Well, come with me. They know me here. Maybe I can do you some good.
I hope you'll forgive my stupid husband. Had a bad day yesterday with the nags, and he got stoned last night. So now he's got to borrow some money to pay off his bookie.
What's a bookie?
A little rat called Sam the Collector. Oh, Jim could only stay away from the horses.
Your husband likes horses, does he?
Loves them, especially losers.
Jed says a man who likes animals can't be all bad.
Here comes Uncle Jed, Granny.
Well, let's be on our way. Bye, ma'am. Glad there was no harm done.
So am I. What happened to you? Fall down in there?
Shut up and act hurt. That old geezer's worth $35 million.
What?
Faint. We'll sue him for a bundle.
Case of Johnson versus Clampets. Are the plaintiffs ready?
We are, Your Honor.
Are the defendants ready? Mr. Clampett.
Yes, sir?
Please rise when addressing the court.
Yes, sir, your courtship.
Your Honor.
Oh, just call me Jed.
Mr. Clampett, let me warn you that any attempt at humor will be dealt with severely. You're being sued for $100,000. Do you consider that funny?
No, sir.
Very well. Are you represented by counsel?
Am I what? By who?
You have an attorney. A lawyer.
Oh, no, sir.
I see. You're appearing in pro per. You any objections?
No, Your Honor.
Well, hearing no objection, I'll permit your defense.
Well, thank you, sir.
For the plaintiffs will make his opening statement.
Thank you, Your Honor. Although my clients, the Johnsons, are really in no condition to appear today, I have persuaded them to come to court so that Your Honor can see the carnage wreaked by this criminally careless family of hoodlums.
Oh, excuse me, young feller, but our name ain't Hoodlum, it's Clampett. It's all except Granny, she's a Moses, and Jethro, he's a Bodine. He's my cousin Pearl's boy. Pearl's back home right now with Jethro and his sister trying to get her married. She's 18 and still single.
That is enough.
That's the way my cousin Pearl feels. A girl passes 18 and her chances of getting a husband.
Mr. Clampett, will you please be quiet? Now, I'm going to excuse this outburst because apparently you're unfamiliar with court procedure. However, one more infraction and I will hold you in contempt. You be seated. Proceed, counsel.
As I was saying, Your Honor, I have prevailed upon my clients to appear today, although at the cost of great personal suffering to themselves. Bailiff, if you please.
Is them the people that run into us?
It sure is. What you reckon happened to them?
Something terrible by the looks of them.
Let's go see can we comfort them.
Your Honor, protect my clients from these ruffians.
You got a terrible memory for names. We's Clampets, except for Granny and Jethro.
Mr. Clampett, I declare you in contempt of this court. And I'm going to give you a fine of $100.
Well, thank you, but I didn't do nothing to earn no $100.
The fine of $100 is suspended. Now, please, take your seats.
Jed, where's the $100 he promised you?
Didn't you hear him, Granny? The judge spended it.
What right he got spending your $100?
Order in this court. The attorney for the plaintiffs will proceed.
Your Honor, the maimed and broken bodies of my clients speak more eloquently than any words of mine in condemning the criminal actions of this lawless family.
What'd he call us that time?
Lawless? I know a family named Lawless. Awful nice folks. Raise pigs.
You will prove, Your Honor, that on the day and date set forth in the complaint, said defendants did willfully and maliciously crash into the plaintiff's car inflicting upon the bodies of the plaintiffs numerous and grievous injuries, for which we ask the court to award damages in the amount of $100,000 to said plaintiffs.
He can't even remember the Johnsons. He keeps calling them the plaintiffs.
Ain't no two ways about it. When it comes to recollecting names, that young feller's pitiful.
I want you to tell the court in your own words exactly what happened.
Well, Mrs. Johnson and I had just driven up to the bank where I hoped to borrow some money for my favorite charity, the Horse Lovers of America. And although we've been married for 20 years, Mrs. Johnson and I are still very affectionate.
Proceed with your testimony, Mr. Johnson.
Well, being affectionate as we are, we sat in the car for a few moments to speak of our love.
I love you, Jim Johnson.
I love you, Mabel.
What other man would borrow the money to help those poor old horses on their way to the glue factory?
Well, I do what my heart tells me. Mabel!
What is it, Angel?
There's an old truck careening down the street out of control.
Oh, Jim! He's heading straight for us!
Well, have no fear. I'll protect you, darling. And that's the last I remember, Your Honor. Those monsters crashing into us in an alcoholic stupor.
Oh, please.
Court is recessed for 10 minutes.
Who you reckon smacked into them people like that?
I don't know, but they was driving something called a stupor. What do we drive, Jethro?
I ain't sure, but I think it's called a Stutz.
Glad we wasn't there. We could have helped them.
Excuse me, mister. How do you get to the playground?
Playground?
Oh, yes, sir. He just called recess.
For my poor Jim's sake, I was glad he was unconscious so that he didn't have to see the worst part.
Would you describe what you mean by the worst part?
Well, you see, the impact threw my husband out of the car. There he lay on the street, broken and bruised. My precious darling. Did those insensitive beasts care? No. They actually seemed happy about it.
Let's back up and hit him again.
Yeah, that one about knocked him 5 feet in the air.
Why don't you learn how to stay out of people's way?
You brutes, look what you've done to my husband.
I'll bring him around. If this don't bring him around, he's dead.
My poor husband, whose precious lips had never before touched alcohol.
Your Honor, please, sir, Mr. Judge.
Yes, Mr. Clampets. Do you wish to question Mrs. Johnson?
Oh, no, sir. That poor woman's been through trouble enough. I just want to say that me and my family here is right good at tracking and trailing and hunting. And we'd be right pleasured if you'd let us go out and hunt down them rascals that was so mean to the Johnsons.
Mr. Clampets, do you expect the court to take those remarks seriously?
Well, I reckon I did brag a little too strong on us, but if we can't catch him, we got a hound dog named Old Duke. He can follow our trail a month old.
That's back again. Why, you just give old Duke the send. He can't get after it.
Is it possible that you people don't realize that you are the accused?
What do you mean?
You are the folks who caused these injuries to the Johnsons.
Us? Who says so?
They do.
That's a dad-blame lie. We wasn't even there.
Bailiff, restrain these people.
What do you mean, we're straight?
You want to fight? You want to
If you ask me, this is a heck of a place to spend recess.
That fella said he put us in here to cool off. It's hotter in here than it is in there.
Well, there's one good thing. He's going to give each one of us $100.
Fine. That's what I say. Fine and dandy. Jed, you look like you're counting hairs on a hog's back. What you studying on?
I'm studying on this whole situation, Granny. Why would the Johnsons haul off and say we'd done something that we didn't?
Well, maybe they's fibbing to get the money.
Maybe they's text.
I agree with Ellie. Way I got it figured, that accident they had knocked their memories loose.
I coulda. The way they's bandaged up, they must have took some awful hard knocks.
Granny, supposing you make some poultices for the Johnsons, then that'll draw the hurt out of their heads and they'll be able to remember what smashed into them.
I'll do it, kid. And I'll whomp up a great big dose of wretchweed tonic. There ain't nothing like wretchweed to get you thinking straight.
All right, folks. Judge adjourned court till after lunch. And then he wants you all back in that courtroom on your very best behavior. He said he'd suspend your $100 fines.
There he goes, spending our money again.
I'm going to ask the court for a judgment by default. Those hillbillies aren't coming back. They've probably left town.
Hope we didn't keep you folks waiting. We hurried the best we could. Didn't even stop to eat.
For a piece over at our place.
Granny had a lot of fixing to do.
And you're gonna feel a heap different when I get done with you.
How dare you threaten my clients?
Quieten down, little man. Ain't nobody threatening nobody.
They're back, Your Honor. All rise.
You can uncover the grits, but keep the lid on the baked pasta.
Well, how about the chitlins?
They're just as good cold.
They sure is, Granny. Smells good, don't it, Judge? We'd be right pleasure to have you join us. Everybody, we got plenty.
Thank you. That is very nice of you.
Oh, not at all.
You realize how long you've kept this court waiting?
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Judge, but we done the best we could. Granny was working like a whirlwind, baking possum, cooking grits, making tonic, and fixing poultices.
I am not interested in what Granny has been doing.
I wouldn't rile her up if I was you, Judge. Not on an empty stomach. Granny gets right ornery when she ain't eat all day.
I am also not interested in her dietary idiosyncrasies. Bailiff, remove that food from this courtroom.
Hold on. We's hungry.
That's your own fault, being late.
I wouldn't say too much about being late if I was you. This is the second time today you've come in here in your nightgown.
Tell me, Jethro, do you like to drive that old truck?
Oh, yes, sir.
Do you like to drive fast?
Oh, yes, sir, but I'm
Just
always...
answer the question, yes or no, and tell the truth. How do you like to drive fast?
Yes, sir.
Were you driving fast the day you crashed into the Johnsons' car?
Oh, no, sir.
Well, were you driving slowly when you crashed into their car?
No, sir, but
That's
I'm
all,
always...
thank you.
But
Now
I'm
step down, please. Next witness. Granny, I understand that you make very good moonshine whiskey.
I call it my rheumatism medicine.
I see. But it is quite potent, quite strong.
Well, you don't want to stand too close to a fire when you uncork it.
Yes, well, now then, Granny, do you sometimes carry a jug of this rheumatism medicine around with you? Take it on trips, say?
Only when I get my twinges.
Well, were you having twinges the day you and your family crashed into the Johnsons?
No, and we didn't...
That's all, thank you. Now then, Ellie Mae, when the old truck here crashed into the Johnsons' car, would you show me just where you were sitting?
Well, I was sitting right there, but we didn't...
That's all, thank you. Mr. Clampett, how many guns do you have in your home?
Well, Granny's shotgun, and Jethro's lever action, my pistol, my squirrel rifle.
You needn't go on, Mr. Clampett. That's quite an arsenal you have.
Thank you.
You're used to carrying a gun, aren't you?
I've been toting a squirrel rifle since I was knee-high to a jackrabbit.
And I understand you're quite a good shot.
Back where I come from, if you didn't shoot good, you didn't eat.
I see you shot only for food.
Yes, sir.
And you were very poor.
Yes, sir.
And then oil was discovered on your land, and you became very, very wealthy and moved to Beverly Hills.
Yes, sir.
But isn't it a fact, Mr. Clampett, that in spite of all your millions, you are still frequently seen carrying a gun?
Yes, sir. You see,
Now, just answer the question, yes or no. Do you, to this day, frequently carry a gun?
Yes, sir.
Were you carrying a gun the day you and your family crashed into the Johnsons?
No, sir, and we didn't.
That's all. Thank you. Step down.
No, sir.
What do you mean, no, sir?
Ain't all, and I ain't stepping down. Not until I've said a few things.
Your Honor, I object.
Now, Counselor, I have been very lenient with your conduct of this case, just as I have been very lenient with the conduct of the defendants. However, since Mr. Clampett here is the defendant and will bear the financial burden if judgment is against him, the court wishes to hear anything that is relevant and pertinent to this case.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Clampett, let us hear what you have to say.
Thank you. Well, to begin with, there ain't nobody told the real story about what happened the day the Johnsons backed into us.
I object, Your Honor. There has not been one shred of evidence or testimony supporting the allegation that my clients backed into the defendants.
That is very true, Counselor. Perhaps now we might have it. In the meantime, you be seated.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, you may proceed, Mr. Clampett, realizing, of course, that you're still under oath to tell the truth.
Well, Your Honor, I learned how to tell the truth so long ago, I reckon it's become a habit. And what with making a promise on the good book, I'm going to be extra careful.
Proceed.
Well, me and my family drove down to the bank. And then we drove on home, and that's the last we seen of the Johnsons till somebody come to the house and told us to come down here to the courtroom.
You may cross-examine.
Well, that's quite a story you told, Mr. Clampett. Very simple and very sweet.
Just the truth, like I promised.
You're innocent of all these charges against you, aren't you? You've nothing to hide.
That's right.
Then why, Mr. Clampett, did you not answer the summons and complaint served upon you by the county marshal?
Summons and complaint?
That is right, complaint. This is a complaint, Mr. Clampett. In fact, it's a copy of the one delivered into your hands.
Is that a complaint?
It is. Why didn't you answer it?
Would you mind reading that first line there?
The people of the state of California send greetings to J.D. Clampett.
That just didn't seem like no complaint to us. And as for answering it, well, Jethro says there's pertinent near 18 million people in California. We just couldn't hardly see how we could get around to greeting them all back.
Any further questions?
Not right now, Your Honor.
Court will recess for 30 minutes, after which we'll hear final argument.
Mrs. Johnson, I'd like to have a little conference with you and your husband before court resumes. Do you know where he is?
Probably out calling his bookie. Dr. Bookman.
Another thing, you told me your husband was a teetotaler. After lunch today, I thought I smelled liquor on his breath.
That's his medicine for pain.
Mrs. Johnson, are you sure that you and your husband are telling me the complete truth about this case?
What do you mean? Are you siding with that millionaire against us poor crippled people? Bodies all aching and racked with pain?
No, it's just that Mr. Clampett's story was very convincing. And there were no witnesses to the accident.
You told me we didn't need any witnesses. You said because they didn't answer the complaint, we didn't have to bring in any witnesses.
But you mean you could have brought in witnesses?
All you want.
All rise. Counsel for plaintiffs ready for his final summation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, sir, Mr. Judge, could I say something that might save us all a lot of time?
You any objections?
No, Your Honor.
Proceed, Mr. Clampets.
Well, sir, if it's all right with you, I'd like to go ahead and give that $100,000 to the Johnsons.
Do you admit the claims made by the Johnsons?
Well, no, sir, it don't. But he deserves the money, and I can afford to give it to him more if he needs it.
Would you mind telling the court why you think he deserves it?
Well, Your Honor, I got a daughter here, Ellie Mae, and I reckon she means more to me than just about anything in the world. And during the recess, when I seen Mr. Johnson with his daughter and seen how much he loved her, just like I do Ellie Mae, well, it kind of tore at my heart.
What daughter?
Shut up. There he was in his wheelchair in that little room across the hall, and in walked this beautiful girl with the long red hair, and I knowed right away she was his daughter because she walked up to him and she says, "How's it going, Daddy?" Judge, Your Honor, with no nurse to help him, that brave man got to his feet and stood there straight and tall so she wouldn't see he was suffering. And he hugged her and he kissed her, and right then is where I found out she was a heap like my daughter, fond of critters. Because he said, "Marcia, darling, when I get this 100,000, I'm going to take you to Mexico and we're going to watch the ponies run."
Ain't enough for that
Your Honor, these developments surprised me as they did you. I asked to be relieved from the case at once.
Request granted. This court finds for the defendant.
Bailiff, bring those plaintiffs back into this court immediately. They're to be held for perjury.
Jed, you've been quiet as a mouse all the way home.
I've been studying on how to send greetings back to the people of California. After all, it don't seem right not to. They've been so friendly to us.
Well, Pa, why don't we just go visit everybody?
I'd like to send them all to Winston. That's about the friendliest thing I can think of.
But, Uncle Jed, that'd take 18 million Winstons.
Well, how many packages would that be? There's 20 delicious Winstons in each package.
Well, let's see. If there's 20 delicious Winstons to a package, to get 18 million, 20 into 18, that won't go. 18 into 20, that just don't sound right. Uncle Jed, do you think we could please wait till there's 20 million people in California?
I reckon so, Jethro. Winstons will taste just as good then as they do now.
Like a cigarette head order.
The Beverly Hillbillies has been presented by Winston. We hope you've enjoyed it, and we hope you will try Winston, because Winston tastes good, like a cigarette should.
Well, now it's time to say goodbye to Jed and all his kin. They would like to thank you folks for kindly dropping in. You're all invited back next week to this locality to have a heaping helping of their hospitality. Hillbilly, that is. Set a spell. Take your shoes off. You all come back now. Here?
This has been a Filmways presentation.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.